What is up, Action Army? Call to Action is live, and this is our first time trying to do anything like this. Hopefully, it's not a terrible, terrible mess. And here to make sure this isn't a terrible, terrible mess, we have a great crew with us today.
Hi, Matt.
What's up, guys? Danny.
All right, so yes, Danny and Billy are the same person today.
We are the same person today.
And we're already in the chat. We have Jonathan Peck. Thank you for being a loyal viewer and a great loser in Movie Trivia Face-Off. But starting off hot, I'm ready to do this for the next 5 hours. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is discuss the year in film. Whether or not... Oh, Jonathan Peck's a general. I did not know that. Thank you for being a general. We salute you, sir. We're going to be talking about 2019 in film. And because I have to share this link everywhere I can, what have y'all thought of the year so far?
Oh, man. It's been like a up and down year, I guess you could say. Like, there's movies that I thought were going to be really good that turned out to not be that good. And then there's movies that I really didn't have any expectation for that turned out to be great. So,
I've only
I mean,
go ahead, Dan.
No, I was gonna say I haven't really got a chance to see a lot of the movies, but I would say that this year so far it's kind of been a little bit of a disappointment compared to my list where I was last year to just gauging to now. But things can still change.
Yeah, I've only recently gotten to like really hardcore into going to movies, like watching current movies. And I feel like at this point last year, my list was a lot better. But this year, I feel like it's more consistent. There's not as many like terrible films. I have like a lot of threes and a half on my list out of 5. So nothing's really blown me away except for a handful of movies, like maybe 6 or 7. But yeah, it's been an okay year. I wouldn't say it's like anything amazing.
Yeah, well, here. So right now we're about the midpoint of the year, and let's just go over some of the stuff that came out around this time last year and see where it really compared. We had Blind Spotting, Beast, which is amazing. Y'all need to watch it.
Yes.
Infinity War, Annihilation, Unsane, 8th Grade, Upgrade. Just going through my own list, so I could be very wrong. Love, Simon, which was a sleeper hit. Game Night, Deadpool 2, Isle of Dogs, Quiet Place.
Tag.
A bunch of these great movies.
Black Panther.
And
Hereditary.
We'll be going over our own stuff today, but just like the big hitters we have right now is Endgame, John Wick 3, Shazam, Spider-Man, Us, Rocketman, Captain Marvel, Glass, Toy Story, How to Train Your Dragon. So I think, honestly, it's not as bad as we think it is. It's Kevin Smets in the chat.
I haven't seen like half of those movies.
2 of us, I think 3 of us don't drink, so we're sort of
I can get some food and have one. I'm ready to party.
Yeah, Matt, get the whiskey. Get the whiskey, take all the plains tequila, and just lose it.
I will be right back.
Oh yeah, we have to mention Booksmart because that's Ben's movie of the year.
Booksmart, I'm going to get into later. I love that movie. I've seen it twice in theaters, which I never do. But while Ben is in the chat, I want to make a special announcement. Later in the stream, we will be making a spoke list. We're not sure what on yet. We'll be taking suggestions from the comment section, but we will be utilizing the spoke. So please stick around. Nat's going to get drunk. We're going to make a great list. Have a lot of fun. Jonathan Peck's Detective Pikachu, which I'm sure we will get into later. But
I think the difference between last year and this year is that last year seemed to be a lot more like original things. Like most of those movies you listed off from last year were they were original concepts. They weren't based on known properties. They weren't sequels. Whereas this year, the majority of the movies outside of a couple are either based off of known intellectual property or are sequels or prequels or, movies that use other movies for their I guess their quality or their story or their story.
I think the only real big standout original films this year have been Long Shot, Us, and Midsummer.
And Booksmart.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's this movie called Booksmart. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
I'm aware that it exists.
You should watch it twice in theaters.
It's just when I say that, I think all of those, I'd say maybe except for Long Shot, come from these very established voices. Whereas last year, per se, we had like Annihilation, which people didn't really see coming because Alex Garland was still only had one film out. Blind Spotting, which no one knew about. Beast, which no one knows about, and they still don't know about, which is ridiculous.
We're spreading the word.
They don't know about. Love, Simon, which was expected to be a nothing. And like those are genuine surprises, whereas what we're seeing right now is a lot of more, oh yeah, this is gonna be great, and it's great-ish. Like we can get into this later because I want to do a top 5 or top 10 breakdown. I think John Wick is great, but closer to great-ish, where it has some of the shortcomings that 1 and 2 don't have.
I thought 3 was better than 2, actually. Well, the first hour of 3 was better than 2. The shortcomings in 3 definitely happened in like the last hour. Whereas, which is kind of like the opposite of 2, whereas I thought 2 didn't really get good until the last hour when everything just kind of went crazy. But,
I can't really say like which of the 3 is the better film. I will say that John Wick 3 brought me the most enjoyment out of all of them. So it's my personal favorite. But I can see where people are coming from.
Well, John Wick's such a weird
and I have no
like
opinion
property
I haven't
because
seen it yet. Boom.
Well, you should, Danny. It's a great movie, just great-ish.
Haven't seen that one.
Booksmart.
So
actually, you know what? I'm just sitting on the fly here for my top 10 list. Because, like, I think for me, the biggest thing about John Wick Parabellum is the story is too convoluted. I think it has a lot of potential that it goes for, and it builds the world. But I think the world building is fantastic, but it doesn't support the plot. The plot is simple on paper, but the lengths they go to explain it doesn't help the film.
In John Wick 3?
Yes.
See, I thought that way
I think Chapter 2 is the best one.
See, I thought the world building in 2 was world building for world building's sake, and all of the stuff they did was really cool, but it didn't really like affect John Wick because it was more of like the actual whole world. Whereas in 3, all of the world building stuff is directly related to John Wick. It's the Belarusians, it's the 2 hotel owners, it's the arbitrator or whatever. Those are all things that affect John Wick directly.
I think it's hard to really, like, I don't know. For me, I think Chapter 3 has the issue of saying, "Oh, look, thing exists," and then leaving it alone. Like we don't get a backstory behind it. We don't see how it. Like I don't think we see how it impacts John. Whereas I think with 2, we get a lot of the staples that we're used to in the series now, that simply by existing support him rather than existing in the background. Like I sound like I'm using circular logic. I don't know how to phrase it other than I just think 2 utilizes its world better.
Yeah, I think it uses the world better. It's funny. I think John Wick 2 is a really good movie, but isn't really a John Wick movie. Like, yes, he's doing everything and he's doing all these cool things, but it doesn't tell any story that's necessary to John Wick. And all of the story they do seems to be like out of nowhere. Like the guy shows up and he's like, "Oh, you owe me," and we really don't know why he owes him. Yeah. And then
but that's the whole plot, though.
Like, exactly. But they don't really explain it. Like they kind of explain it, and then they were just like doing twists for like twist's sake. Like, you got to go kill her. Oh wait, no. Like, she's on the table. Oh, I'm going to be on the table. Oh, now you've pissed everyone off. Like, he lives in this world, and he's John Wick. He should have known better, or I don't know, like.
No, and I 100% agree with you. And this is still like a 4.5 for me. I really enjoy it. Just
Yeah,
I think I tend to be a bit withdrawn on it because like so a bunch of my friends who I compare the list with, they have it as like a 5 out of 5, best movie of the year. It's amazing, and I think I just tend to be a bit more down on it in like reaction to that. Because I think the action of some of the series best. The first, like Bibiani said it himself, and I think it's hilarious. The first hour is the best bit of film of the year. Yes, Dark Shadow.
Dark Shadow.
Quick, 10 minutes.
Okay, Paul, what did you think of
John Wick
3?
Come again?
What did you think of John Wick Chapter 3?
John Wick Chapter 3. Okay. A lot of action, no story.
What?
Constant action the whole way through. I love John Wick 1. I love John Wick 2. John Wick 3 was kind of... I mean, even the action sequences were almost a little slow at times, I thought, as far as like the actual action sequences. And it became a big video game level at the end. Like, let's
No,
go to the video game
you can
level.
be on
Let's
there
each
if you want.
step of a video game. Now the next level. Now the next level. Now the next level until we get to the big boss. I don't know.
It's a great video game movie.
Right. It's the best video game movie ever made.
That's Scott Pilgrim. Shut your face. That's Scott Pilgrim.
I think John Wick is this great little thing where it's what we want to see from a video game, which is everything pulled off perfect. Like, to me, John Wick is like speedrunning in movie form, where every single action is so precise, so perfect. There are no flaws in the movements. I think that's really compelling. Just as a film, the actual existence of his story seems to be a bit held back.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't go into these John Wick movies looking for story or great acting. I come in looking for sweet-ass gun fu action, and that's exactly what I got out of John Wick 3. And that's why it's a 5 out of 5 for me, because it's a masterpiece in brutality and just savagery. And it also had...
He used the big M, everybody.
I would say you're not wrong. You're not wrong, but here's the thing. John Wick 1 had that and a story. So comparatively, I mean, if this was John Wick 1, I'd go in like for what it was, exactly, love the gun through action and everything else. But when you had John Wick 1, which had a little bit more of a compelling narrative with like a little more emotional resonance.
That's a good
comparing that now, John Wick 1 is so much better that way. John Wick 3 is good for what it is. It's just, I guess, in comparison, it suffers.
That's a good point.
Quick shout out in the chat. Smets has never seen it. Get on it, even though he just left the chat, but hopefully he watches us back later. Watch it. It's amazing. And also, Sorry says, Chapter 3 has some crazy good sequences, but as a film, disappointed me. Which is sort of where me and I guess Paul are coming from a little bit.
Absolutely.
Here's what I felt they should have done in Chapter 3 that would have made it a better movie. First of all, they had to get rid of the like smiling villain who is like basically a caricature of himself at the end of the movie. After he's done these violent, vicious things leading up to that point, that was terrible. And then also I felt like they should have played more off of the lore of John Wick of stabbing people in the neck when he left Common bleeding on the train in the second one, and there's like other people who have that scar. It would have been so cool if like an army of people with neck scars, or not even an army, just like a group of people with neck scars had like shown up to like save John Wick at the end from all the like people, because then that would have like brought that full circle. The third one seems disconnected from the first and second one almost.
I agree. And that was part of my problem with it in a way. It could be saved. It could be saved with a good 4, though. A good 4 could make 3 retroactively a better movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I mean, honestly, for me, it's on the Toy Story scale. It's on I love them all. Like the ones that I don't like the second one that I like the least, I still love. Like, I'm not saying John Wick are like as good as Toy Story. I'm just saying that like I like all the Toy Story movies. Like, and picking the one I like the least is really hard. John Wick's the same thing. I like all of them. I think they're all really good. I just think the second one just didn't. I don't know. I just felt disconnected from it or something.
Ooh. So, speaking of Toy Story, which also came out this year, I want to point it out just for the moment because you're talking about how things are like maybe a little bit underwhelming, even though you love all of them. I'm in the same camp, but the reason I'm bringing it up now, it's not in my top 10, which is what we're going to talk about later.
Really?
For the sake of me being a little bitch and talking about my complaints about it, do you guys want to start talking about it now? Because I genuinely think it is the worst in the series by far.
Toy Story 4?
Yeah.
See, we differ so much on this because your favorite Toy Story is Toy Story 2, and that is easily my least favorite Toy Story.
Toy Story 2 is the best one. It's a perfect movie.
So that's Toy Story 3. That's the best one.
No, Toy Story 3 is so derivative of number 2, but Paul had his hand raised, so I'll go to him first.
Wait. I'm with you with 2. 2 is the best one.
Thank you, Danny.
Say that again?
I like 3.
2 is the best of the
Then
Toy Story 1's the best movie. Toy Story 1,
Yeah.
the OG, the original.
I think
It's the
in
only
order,
original one.
it is 2, 1, 3, 4.
It's 3, 1, 4, 2.
No. Because the reason I would put 1 below 2 is I have a problem with movies that are just too perfect. It's like it's a flawless movie. I'll give you that, but it's like to me, okay. I put Toy Story and Die Hard on the same level, where they're both perfect movies. But because they're so good, I tend to lose an enjoyment in them somehow. I can't explain it. That's how my brain works. I think 2 tries stuff and is weird, and I like that. Like the whole like fighting with Zurg in the elevator and the opening sequence where Buzz is flying through space, and it's just the Bug's Life set, but with the gravity turned off. Like I think that's incredible.
Danny Joy says she completely agrees with Nat, and it's 1, 3, 4, 2.
No,
and that's what I would go with. I would go with 1, 3, 4, 2 as well. That's correct.
No.
I'd go with 3, 1, 4, 2. But 3 and 1.
What is wrong with 2?
I
2 is amazing.
Nothing wrong with 2, but
2's
these movies are at least 9.
2, 1, 3.
It has
3, 1
Stinky
is
Pete.
mine.
It has When She Loves Me with Jesse. It's incredible.
Okay, calm down.
Nothing in the series matches
Deep breath.
Jesse being forgotten about. That is perfect. Perfect.
As much as I love Joan Cusack, I don't care about Jesse at all. I just don't.
Paul.
This is okay.
That was one of my favorite
Paul,
Toy Story moments.
your 10 minutes is up. Get out of the
She Loves
car.
Me moment.
I got like 3 minutes left.
Not only is Toy Story 2 my favorite Toy Story movie, it's also my favorite Pixar movie. So
Once again, the wise,
that's my hot take.
the very wise Danny has said that they are all super great, but 2 just falls apart or just falls short. Sorry. So Danny's so wise, so wise.
Danny's very,
Danny, right here.
Danny's very wise.
I think you guys are forgetting what's in Toy Story 2. Like they're running along the conveyor belt, which is that's an amazing action sequence. So much that they had to copy it in Monsters Inc.
James, that's because it's so forgettable.
It is not forgettable.
They literally just watched Toy Story 2 before I watched Toy Story 4. And
They just like remember the other buzzes he found and dealing with the reality that you're just a toy on a massive scale.
no, I agree that Toy Story 2 is a great movie. The other 3 are just 10 out of 10.
They're arguing that
9 out of 10.
Right.
I don't disagree that Toy Story 2 is good. I just don't like it as much as the others.
Sorry, James, I'm with you.
Thank you, Danny.
Hashtag Toy Story 2.
Yes. Okay.
Toy Story 2
Hashtag When She
Not
Loves
only
Me.
that,
Hashtag
there's
Let Her Alone.
Not only that, Newman is in that movie too. The Owl toy. He's the good villain. There's Stinky
Right.
Pete.
And he's like,
Come
remember
on,
the
there's
scene
the
where,
whole
like,
thing
with
with
Woody's trying to go and get his arm back. And
Just
he's
about.
Woody
Al
should've
is so
gone with
relatable.
When he
He's
realizes
sleeping
that-
on the couch watching reruns of old 50 shows with Cheetos all over his chest. That is the perfect life. I get it. I get you, Al's Toy Barn. Thanks, Toy Barn. Whatever. Okay, wait. So again, we're gonna be talking about our top 10 movies of 2018. Right now, we should go through some of the movies that maybe we don't think will be on there. There's one I'm looking at right now, which I think is on Nat, so I'm going to skip it for the time being. what did y'all think? So Jonathan Peck pointed out earlier, and I will talk about it a little bit. How many of you guys saw Fighting with My Family?
Oh, right here.
I did.
Okay.
I did. I didn't.
Okay.
I haven't seen any of these movies you've mentioned so far, so
Well,
I'm pretty useless on this conversation.
Danny, get your top 10 list ready because I can't wait to say how terrible your opinions are. They're
really terrible.
I think it's in the bottom third. No, sorry, it's in the bottom half of my list.
I have to admit something. I've only seen 15 movies in the theater, like 15 movies this year so far.
I've seen
theaters. I've been busy, and Fighting with My Family was number 15.
No. I've seen 2 movies in the theaters. That's it.
Okay.
I can't stand this right now.
Paul, you need to explain that. Like, I don't think it's bad enough to put at the bottom. Like, it's good.
Maybe he's seen 14 amazing, exceptional movies.
But
and
this year, I doubt
maybe he's seen Toy Story 1 14 times, and then he's only seen Fighting with My Family.
Wait! I take that back. Toy Story 2 was 15. Then Fighting with My Family.
Oh yeah.
No.
Quick question. Was Ed Harris in Fighting with My Family?
No.
Then now we know why
it was a
Paul
short
really-
cameo in the boxing ring, or in the wrestling ring, which is why he's watched it.
He's watched 14 movies with Ed Harris and Fighting with My Family. That's why it's 14.
That would be a no-brainer. That would be obviously number 1. Would be number 1A, B, C, D, E, F, and then 14 or 15, whatever.
So here, in the chat, Malcolm Goldie Lay, Fighting with My Family is in my top 10. Thank you, Malcolm. It's not that good, but at least you're defending it.
It is that good.
Oh, why is it so low for you?
I gotta be honest. I love Vince Vaughn. I felt Vince Vaughn was phoning it in the whole time. The whole thing seemed like this. It's been an MTV reality show, like scripted reality show. It didn't. It seemed.
Well, it was scripted. It's a movie.
No, I know, but it seemed like. But that's what I mean. It seemed like it was a fake reality show instead of a movie. I got this like very just cheesy vibe the whole time from it. I couldn't get into it. I love wrestling. I love Paige. I want to love movies. I'm a huge wrestling nut. I read like every wrestling biography there is. I love behind the scenes shit like this. It did nothing for me. I mean, The Rock was cool in his moments. There's some funny parts. Nick Frost.
Nick Frost is great.
He's great, but overall, it's not that I hated it. I think I gave it like a 2.5 or something like that. But like it was just kind of an average movie for me. I think I was disappointed. I think that's why I put it down so low, because I wanted to like it so much, and I didn't.
All right.
My problem with it, like I wouldn't like it was. It was a good movie. Like I'd say it's a good movie. Like it's not great. It's not mediocre.
Let me interject. Can I interject real quick?
Yes, Dark Shadow.
You want me to hit me? You want me to hit you with my top 10 of the year so far?
Yes.
Yes.
Then hit me afterwards. Okay, my top 10. You can slay me afterwards. I'll find out. 10 is Captain Marvel. 9, Dark Phoenix. Shocker.
Oh, whoa, no.
8, Happy Death Day to You.
Okay.
7, Yesterday. 6, Shazam. 5, Triple Frontier.
Oh my god.
4, Alita Battle Angel.
Yes.
3, Us. 2, Booksmart. And 1, Avengers Endgame.
Okay.
That's what I most fun of.
Okay.
Only a few of those are better than Fighting with My
I'm
Family.
going to destroy you for having Dark Phoenix in there, but otherwise it's halfway decent.
Fighting with My Family is a better movie than Dark Phoenix. I'll tell you that right
It is
now.
league better. It is way better.
I expected Dark Phoenix to so badly that I was surprised it didn't. So maybe that's why it's like the opposite effect of Fighting with My Family.
Did Jarvie talk to you about it? He probably convinced you it was a better movie than it was.
Yeah, get Jarvie on where his number 1 of the year is Hellboy or something.
He took his shirt off and I was like,
Aladdin.
I heard every word he said.
Jarvie's number 1 movie of the year is Pearl Harbor.
I have seen Pearl Harbor 18 times. It came out in 2019.
It's been his number 1 movie for 15 years.
It's number 1. Oh, okay, Paul left. Bye, Paul.
Oh, all right, good. Danny Joy in the chat just said she did not like Alita.
Ooh.
So let's get into that.
Oh my god.
Because I
Okay.
hated Alita.
Get out.
I hated
Get
that movie.
out. Okay.
That movie was awful.
No. It is amazing. It is a schlocky 90s action movie covered in the paint of modern CGI and anime eyes, and it's amazing.
Every time they had an opportunity to do something really cool, they did something completely different that was terrible.
Then don't you even try. That rollerball sequence was amazing.
It was awful. Who cared?
No.
Like the only good part of that scene was her looking at the crowd and being like, "I'm gonna fuck some people up," and I'm like, "Okay, whatever. I don't care anymore."
No,
and
it has the single best moment in the entire year.
Are you kidding me? You've
I am
lost your mind.
So wait, spoilers for Alita Battle Angel, everybody.
Yeah.
I'll wave my hand.
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
But I've seen the original, so.
Okay, Danny's.
The original is great.
Okay.
The original is so good.
Wait.
Yeah, I saw the original.
So the best moment in the history of film for 2019 is when Alita's fighting that really big robot guy that she lost to the first time, and he's holding her up, looks at him in the eyes, close up, just 3 words. Fuck your mercy. And she rips out his eyeball. Like, come on.
Okay. First of all,
spoilers over. You guys are good now.
She's literally been torn to pieces by this giant destructive machine.
Fighting.
That's the one good moment in the entire movie. I don't know if it's the best moment of 2019. It's definitely the best moment in that crap fest. But
whoa.
And that's when that's when that happens.
Okay.
That movie was, all right, first of all,
scenario. It's a number 2 moment. It's amazing.
The male lead in that movie was so awful.
I will agree.
So bad. Like, and then like he shouldn't even been in the movie. Like the love interest was completely unnecessary. They had a much better story of the father and daughter scenario, which would have been a much better movie. Instead, they take the low road out and let's get a love interest in this. So stupid. It makes Alita do dumb things that not even a dumb 14-year-old girl would do. Like, what? I'll give you my heart. Yes, you're going to commit suicide? What are you doing?
Literally, if this came out 20 years ago, you would love it.
No, I would not.
The story is terrible. I'll give you that.
20 years ago, the CGI would have been awful, and this movie would have been really bad.
But it's so good. Like
technically, it did come out 20 years ago. It was the original anime.
Yes, but the writing was better.
The anime, and the anime was much better.
It was a little short, and it was really good too.
Okay,
the anime is the comic's good. The anime is good. This rendition is so bad.
I will agree with you that the story is lacking. The male love interest sucks.
Yeah, so bad.
The dad should have had more time. And I'll even extend like Mahershala Ali was like it could have been better as a villain, even though he's really intimidating, gave a great performance.
Mahershala Ali was the only good part of that movie. Ed Sheeran phoned it in.
Rollerball.
Rollerball. Have you seen the movie Rollerball? That's about as good as this movie was.
Wait, okay, so I want to get into one more movie, and then we're gonna give our top 10 list and really fight it out.
Okay.
Oh, how do I choose? Okay, Nat, if this is in your list, I'll move to something else. Detective Pikachu. Is it in your top 10?
No, it's not. It's number 12.
Oh my god. Okay, I thought it was okay. It was like it's so like fun and like chill. Like I think I'll go on record and say it's the best video game movie that's based on an actual video game.
There's no question about it. It's clearly the best because the bar is really low.
It's it's like really sweet and calming. I just think it's very shallow. Like there's not a lot to love other than like the world building. I think it's just like it's a good palate cleanser, I would say.
I think the thing with Detective Pikachu is it's as good as how big of a Pokemon fan you are. Like if you're a really huge Pokemon fan, you'll love it. And I know some people who aren't Pokemon fans at all who just didn't get it. Like it's all fan service, and that's why I loved it so much. It was just really entertaining. There wasn't a lot of depth to it, like the twists you kind of see coming. And I don't know, it didn't blow me away, but it met my expectations.
I'm not a Pokemon fan, and I love that movie. But I love Ryan Reynolds, so that's basically why I love that movie. I mean, low key, I love Green Lantern, and I'm the only one who does, just because it's Ryan Reynolds.
Did anyone have any like really strong, passionate thoughts about it? Because like I feel like it's a movie to have just not have like maybe it's just me. I feel like it's a movie that exists, and I'm glad it exists. But outside of that, it's just like I think all that it's there for is like saying like Detective Pikachu could walk, so that Mortal Kombat could run, or whatever the next great the video game movie is. I think it's a good stepping stone.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
No.
I will.
Oh.
This for me, Detective Pikachu was made to be a kind of like vehicle for Ryan Reynolds to say one-liners, which it did. To be a Pikachu movie that they could sell the Pikachu or not, like the Pokemon name from, which they did, and then it was like fan service of like, let's see how many Pokemon references we can like throw into this movie for all of the Pokemon fans. Which a lot of Pokemon fans love that. Like, I had no clue who any of these Pokemon were, but it was like I understood what they were doing, and it was fine. Like, it's not my top 10. It's better than Fighting with My Family, I thought.
It is.
It's not.
Okay, so what we're gonna do now. So now we're gonna actually get into our top 10 lists.
Okay.
So
I just
each
have
of us.
top 5. I have 5 only.
Okay, so let's start with our bottom 5, and then Danny can come in next.
Oh,
I
can give you the worst movie that I've seen.
Go ahead.
It's the Netflix original movie called The Dirt.
Oh,
The worst
What?
movie I ever saw in my life.
Oh,
Are you kidding me?
I exit screaming
Terrible.
somewhere. Just no, it's
I know.
amazing. It's better than Bo
It's the
Rap.
worst movie I've ever saw.
I haven't seen it because of how much Danny shit talks it.
Shit talking on the daily regular. It's the worst thing I ever saw.
You good, Belford?
It's better than Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, I didn't even like Bohemian Rhapsody either, so.
Oh
Sorry.
my god. The Dirt. You have you just don't have any reference point for that movie. That's why you don't like that movie.
The film school I know more
No, I
than
just
you
don't
do.
care.
Let's go.
It's the I was born in the 80s and like grew up with that.
I was born in
like,
the 80s too. I was born in the 80s too.
What-
The late 80s. The back
what, like
end of the 80s.
December 89?
No, 86. 86.
Yeah.
I'm in the mid 80s.
Oh, you're a 90s baby.
You know the 80s? I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the 90s until I was a man.
Oh, The Dirt. The Dirt is your worst movie of the year?
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of movies this year.
Oh.
Here, wait. Slight pause. I sent y'all a list in the chat. What we're gonna do? We're gonna give our 10 through 6, our 5 through 3, our 2, and our 1. You guys will go in the list in the chat I have right here. You guys don't see it. I'm going to go and get dinner. I have not eaten since like 2. But yeah, so Belford, take it away.
So we're doing our 10 through 5, right?
10 through 6.
Or 10 through 6 of 2019.
Yes.
Yep.
Actually, let Nat start because I have to like think about what I actually like want to organize them in.
That's why you use Letterboxd.
I don't know what that is.
You want me to just run through them and you want me to say anything on them or?
Yeah, you can say stuff about them and we'll comment as well.
Okay. My number 10 is Rocket Man. And I liked it way better than Bohemian Rhapsody. I thought it was kind of like a fantastical musical thing. And I didn't think that's what it was going to be going in. I thought it was going to be a straight biopic. But it was really interesting. And I'm not the biggest Elton John fan. I enjoy his songs and everything. But this movie just made my appreciation for him grow. And I think Taron Egerton did an amazing job. My number 9 is Always Be My Maybe. I fucking love this movie. It's like the better version of Crazy Rich Asians. I think Randall Park and what's that other girl's name?
It's not Aquafina. What's her name? The girl.
Amy Wong.
Chris
Wong, yeah.
Yeah.
Ali Wong.
Ali Wong.
Ali
Wong. I thought they had great chemistry. And obviously the cameo, if you don't know by now, it's Keanu Reeves. Spoilers. Yeah, I really loved it. Number 8 is Booksmart. I mean, I think we've all said what we had to say about the movie. It's amazing. I thought it's this generation's version of Superbad, except I liked it better than Superbad. And number 7 is Spider-Man: Far From Home. I know Danny didn't love this movie, but his opinions are wrong. At least on this one. I,
I liked it more
I
than the
think Tom.
dirt, though, Nat.
That's true. Thank you for that. I think Tom Holland is by far and away the best Spider-Man we've ever seen. I think he did a good job. I think Jake Gyllenhaal was easily a top caliber villain in the MCU. And gosh, I didn't even swallow that. But you didn't see it coming. I don't know what's wrong.
Time out real
Whoa.
quick. Shut up, everybody. Shut your goddamn mouth. Bohemian Rhapsody is a goddamn national treasure. Motherfuckers. Bye now.
That wasn't the Dark Shadow. That was the Dark Shadow's alter ego. You shush your mouth. That was the anti Ben Bateman. Instead of going sure, he went shush.
I feel like a rabid dog just came in and attacked us. What the fuck was that? All right. Moving on. My number 6 is Fighting with My Family. Like I said, I love that movie. Because I'm a huge Page fan and I'm not think they did her story justice. So yeah, those are my 6 to 10.
All right, Danny, what you got?
He didn't have a
Number 10, I had number 10, I had Glass at. Glass.
Okay.
I had. I guess I was expecting more from that movie, but there was really. It's kind of what it fell apart at the end, and I didn't really like that part. That was stupid. At the twist, I kind of sensed that was going to happen. Let's see. Number 9, I had High Flying Bird. Let's see.
Wait, so what?
Number.
Whose list did I miss?
you missed
You missed Nat's and part
Nats.
of Danny's.
All right, so wait, Nat, what is your bottom 5?
my bottom 5 of my top 10. Number 10 is Rocket Man. Number 9 is Always Be My Maybe. Number 8 is Booksmart. Number 7.
Number
I know.
8.
I have a long list. Number 7 is Spider-Man Far From Home. Number 6 is Fighting with My Family.
I'm gonna fight you in a second, Nat. Okay, Danny, go ahead. Sorry.
I gotta pee. I'll give her that.
Okay. So I had number 10. I had Glass. 9 was High Flying Bird. 8 Captain Marvel. 7 was Always Be My Maybe, and 6 was Us.
All right, so I'm not sure if anyone else is gonna mention it. Glass is a banger. Like, it's so underrated. It's really good. I'm gonna give amazing performances. James McAvoy still deserves an Oscar. I don't get why everyone's hating on it.
I was like, the ending just kind of like the twist and everything. I just didn't like them kind of orchestrating that they were all gonna be trapped in there. I kind of knew that she was gonna be evil from the beginning.
Yeah.
It just didn't. Like, I guess I had my expectations so high because I really was surprised by Split and how much I liked that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was pretty much a lot for other people. They were just expecting like this whole thing to be like amazing and everything. And then I guess my expectations was like so high for it.
All right. So
the same thing with Us too. So, like,
yeah,
I enjoyed that movie, but like, I just didn't love it enough for it to be like considered a movie that I would say would be a great movie that I could watch more than like 1 or 2 times.
Yeah, I think Us is in this weird. At least for me, it would normally be higher than it is for me. But I think the interesting thing about it is that there is no one message to take from it. And I know most movies sort of have that, but in a movie, like, I think Us is strange because it's a movie with a message that even the filmmaker doesn't know what the message is. Like, it's literally like you're pointing to a canvas and the artist is saying, take what you want from this, having no idea himself what to take from it. I think it's hard to like really, at least for me, it's hard to have as strong of an opinion that I want to have without having that one resolution to see if I can agree with the points being made. If that makes sense.
Right. So, but just to answer Nat's question, Spider-Man: Far From Home was number 12 for me, so it was an honorable mention of my top 10 so far.
Not bad.
3 stars.
Belford, do you have your list ready? Your mic's off.
No, I think he's still getting listed. Why don't you go now, James?
All right, I'll start. So, I'm a little strange because my number 10 is a short film called Kit Bull, which, if you guys haven't seen it, it's on YouTube. Go watch it. It's part of like the Pixar Spark Shorts, the journey they're taking, sort of, with giving their younger animators some time to make a movie. It's about a stray cat who becomes friends with a pit bull who's in dogfighting, and it's just like, it's like 8 minutes. It's really cute and really heartwarming. Billy, are you there?
Hold on, I'm fixing things.
All right, there you are.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you want me to do my list now?
Since I've started, let's just finish one and we can go to you.
Okay, cool. Yep.
Yeah. My number 9 is Us, like we just talked about. My number 8 is Far From Home. I think Far From Home is interesting because you don't like, so much of it rides on Mysterio, who is an amazing villain. But when you take him out of it, the story itself is sort of bland. The fight scenes I don't think are too interesting, aside from the final one with Mysterio. Spoiler, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think to me it rose like a half a star, maybe a full star with the end credit scenes, which it really shouldn't do.
Yeah.
But it's still like, it's really enjoyable. It's an MCU movie, and the tone of it I really enjoy. The character I love. Tom Holland is fantastic, and
Yeah, I'm wearing my Spider-Man shirt right here.
And I like, it's hard for me not to love it. So it's like I like it a lot. I don't love it yet. My number 7 is John Wick Parabellum. We went on about that. And my number 6 is a movie I hope y'all have seen because it's amazing and it needs to be higher. Long Shot.
Really? I've seen it.
Please tell me y'all have seen it.
No, I haven't seen it. I have not seen that.
Long Shot is my 32.
You suck, Nat, okay? That pop filter off, you suck.
I mean, it's a movie.
No, it's amazing. It's hilarious. Rogan and Theron have like fantastic chemistry.
They do.
It has the best joke of the year that I can't say on camera. Wait, Nat, you know which one I'm talking about, right?
No, I have no idea.
The one they get on camera, the oh boy moment.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, it's amazing. Like, okay, I think it's on digital relatively soon. If you guys want a great date night movie, but you're very weird and don't want to watch The Notebook, watch Long Shot. It's the best rom-com of the year so far, and I say that having not seen Always Be My Maybe. It's fantastic. Go watch it.
Just go. You can see Always Be My Maybe right now.
I'm in the middle of watching A Silent Voice. From,
I love that.
It's so good so far. And I had to stop it because I couldn't finish it in time for this. But trust me, it's on my list. I just have to make the time for it. But Belford, you're up.
And we lost him.
Belford. There you are.
Or maybe
nope. Okay, Belford, your sound's off again.
So, A Silent Voice, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love that movie.
I'm about halfway through, and it's really cute, and I really
even
enjoy
the beginning, like the whole beginning part when he was teasing her, and then they had the.
I hate him so much. Oh my god, the kid is a piece of shit. Yeah. He's awful. While we wait for Belford, so yesterday, isn't that just a great meh film?
I thought it was okay.
Yeah, it's exactly that. It's okay.
Yeah, I liked it fine. It wasn't like as good as I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
That way.
I think I think it worked a lot well on Broadway. We can hire people who can actually sing, people who can actually dance.
Okay, Amish Patel is a really good singer.
No, he's not. He's so when Lily James finds him on a talent show, that's exactly where he belongs. A talent show. He's about as good as he's better than your average karaoke bar singer, and that's it.
hard to disagree on that one. But
What movie are we talking about?
Yesterday.
Which movie is this?
The movie.
What are you talking? I have no interest in seeing that movie.
It's really cute.
It's really,
That's a hard pass for me.
it's really.
I'd rather see the Springsteen.
See
movie.
them both.
That's coming.
Boom. Problem solved.
I don't want to see Yesterday though. That looks. My dad wants to see that movie. If my dad wants you to go see that, I'll see it.
It's my number 19, just because I have a soft spot for the Beatles. I thought it was really cute, really charming and endearing. But yeah, it's
Maybe
not.
the trail. Maybe because the trailers make it look like it's not going to be a good movie.
You just really hate Ed Sheeran, don't you?
He's actually a lot of fun in that.
Yeah, Ed Sheeran is pretty good.
No, I like Ed Sheeran. I never said nothing about hating Ed Sheeran. I just
I know.
the trailers. The trailers just didn't look interesting at all.
Can you hear me again?
Yep.
All right, I'm back. Yay. All right. So after you guys have hated all over the greatness that is Yesterday, my number 10. No, it's not Yesterday. My number 10 is Glass for, because
Me too.
as much as
So, 10 is
other
awesome.
people might, like, I knew that it wasn't going to be as good as Split, because when is the last time that M. Night Shyamalan made 2 good movies in a row? But it was really good, I thought, for what it was. I thought that Bruce Willis actually was, like, engaged for once, which is not always the case nowadays. My number 9 is Long Shot, which is an excellent movie.
Yeah.
Hilarious. I love comedies. I'm actually not even a huge Seth Rogen. Well, actually, I guess I'm a pretty big Seth Rogen fan. I like most of his movies, and he's funny in it. And Charlize Theron is really funny in it as well, which was kind of a surprise considering she's not really known for comedies. My number 8 is Rocket Man.
Yeah.
Because it's probably the best of the biopic movies we've gotten. I usually don't like Taron Egerton, but he was actually really good in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
My number 7 is Always Be My Maybe. Randall Park is hilarious.
Mhm.
I honestly don't like Ali Wong at all, but Randall Park and Keanu Reeves do enough for me to overpower her, and she's fine for her, the character that she is. Like, I don't like her, like, but me not liking her kind of fit that character, so it actually worked really well. And then my number 6 is Godzilla King of the Monsters, because why not? Yes, Godzilla. So good. If the only way it would have been better is if they just killed all the humans except for Bryan Cranston. That would have been great.
Okay, wait. Can we back this up and say that Taron Egerton is a fantastic talent. He's been great in everything he's been in, including Sing, which is a garbage animated film which should not exist, but he almost saves it on his performance alone.
He's obviously the best part of that movie, clearly.
The awfulness of Taron Egerton almost makes up for the awesomeness of Colin Firth in Kingsman. But Colin Firth was
He's
just
amazing
too
in
awesome
Kingsman. What are you talking about?
for Taron Egerton's horribleness. And also, he's so bad in Eddie the Eagle, but everyone around him is so good that movie's heartwarming and lovely.
You suck. And, okay, wait. Just on that note, Rocket Man is fine. It is fine, okay? I love musicals, and I really like some of the bits they've did, but nothing. So there's only 2 good musical sequences in that entire movie, and it's the first one and when he's actually writing Rocket Man.
Well, I'll say this though, that movie's not a musical, so it makes sense that it only has.
Things are impromptu. Again, like the beginning, and like when he's writing Rocket Man.
I would say it's more of like, it's less of a musical and more of like a drama that has music in it.
Yeah, I disagree with that completely. I
So
think it's more of a musical.
Does
It's a
it feel like,
biopic because everything leads up to a song, and they're just getting from one song to the next the entire movie.
So, would you call it like Across the Universe? Because I have not seen this movie, but would you compare it in that kind of range?
No, because Across the Universe is a musical. Like that movie uses music.
Yes.
That movie uses music to explain to, like, basically as exposition. Like Rocketman doesn't do that. Rocketman has like it's a biopic that has music in it.
I actually think that's a really good comparison across the universe and Rocketman. I think those are very similar films and of similar quality as well, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Right. And before we move on to I think Nat would be your next three. Jonathan Peck, thank you for being in the chat. He gave his top 10. We're gonna go in order like we have. Number 10, Detective Pikachu. Number 9, Always Be My Maybe. Number 8, Lego Movie 2, the second part, which is awesome, and y'all need to have it on your lists. Number 7 is Shazam. Number 6 is How to Train Your Dragon 3, and that's where we're stopping. Yo, Lego Movie 2 slaps, and y'all forget about it just because the first one is amazing.
No.
Was that one of those
I didn't
cartoons?
see that one, so I didn't see that one either. So
It is so good. The songs are still bangers. Everyone's great. The message in it is like really complex and difficult for general kids to understand, and they make it work really well. And
yeah. I think we should just rename this episode #movies Danny hasn't seen, because all these movies you've talked about I haven't seen yet.
I'm gonna make the definitive statement of the film Batman's. Will Arnett is number 2. He is amazing.
Get the flip out of here. You have lost your mind if you think that Will Arnett is the number 2 Batman. Don't disrespect Christian Bale and don't disrespect.
Whoa!
Don't dare disrespect Michael Keaton.
So here's why I'm saying that. Bale is number 1, and I have not seen the Keaton movies because I got halfway through Batman '89 and it sucked, and the story and the comedy was weird, the pacing was weird. So I stopped watching it.
How do we fire you from this podcast?
You can't fire me. I'm the producer. Thank you, Kelsey.
I am only going to be on here when other people
oh God, here's the bumpers coming out.
You couldn't get through Batman '89? Batman '89. Jack Nicholson.
Nicholson's
the Joker.
I'll give you that.
Where do I get these wonderful toys?
So
you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Here's what I'm going to say. I didn't grow up with it. It wasn't a movie of my childhood. I was not in the mind space of the time of we don't have good comic book movies. I've grown up with great ones. So maybe its greatness is lost on me. A lot of my generation
We're going to have a special edition of Call to Action. It's going to be an intervention for James on Batman '89. We're going to bring on Janine the Machine.
No, I really want to see Batman Returns. That interests me because it's trying something new. Batman '89 does not feel that new, other than the set. Everything else feels like it's evolved from. So it's my same issue with not liking other classic films. The genre has evolved since then, and it's borrowed a lot.
Well,
so
it's
these
also
genre-defining tropes I'm used to, so it's not as special or surprising to me.
It's also the order that you saw them in, because you probably saw Batman '89 after you'd seen the Christian Bale Batmans, I'm assuming, or at least one of them.
Yeah.
So that's your frame of reference for when Batman '89 comes into your zeitgeist. Batman '89, when that came out, the previous iteration of Batman we had was the campy TV show, so everything felt new.
Exactly.
That's why Batman '89 is great. That's why you're disrespecting Michael Keaton. Put some respect on his name.
Belford, I'm going to make you go full Houston right now.
You might.
I watched it with my girlfriend at the time, who was 2 years younger than me. Danielle's here. Okay, wait, I gotta make my point really quickly before she tears me apart. I tried to watch this with my girlfriend and our group of friends. We got about halfway through and turned it off. And guess what we watched instead?
What?
Men in Black 2. And we finished that.
God.
Okay. I just came here to say that the Michael Keaton Batman movies are the best ones. So...
Thank you. Oh my God.
Bye.
Okay, but can we talk about how good Men in Black 2 is, man?
Mi corazón. Oh, te amo, te amo. Te amo siempre. Oh, mi corazón.
I don't understand. I don't understand how you haven't seen them yet, James. That's the part that's boggling my brain.
He doesn't watch
fine.
movies.
I'm not a big fan of it.
He doesn't appreciate movies.
The writing is weird.
That's really what it is.
He's gonna go watch the Lego Movie 2 again.
Lego Batman is like okay. Lego
The
Batman is the
worst.
third. No, it is the third best Batman movie.
I
Having
would
not
take,
seen Mask of the Phantasm or Batman Returns.
I would
Oh,
take
no.
Batman and Robin over.
No, no. Lego
Batman.
Batman is literally it's the essence of
It's not
Batman, but
bad.
change it from a tragedy to a comedy, and it works. It's so good.
This show is turning from a comedy to a tragedy right now.
Absolutely.
It's pretty funny.
So I missed a lot of the first half of the show, and I missed some stuff in the chat. And I did see that Kevin Smith was in the chat earlier,
Yeah.
and he made a comment about how we're not drinking. So I decided to go ahead and just bring the tequila along.
Nice.
Hey.
So
I'm drinking sweet tea like a good boy, okay? I'm drinking beer, everybody. Ignore what I just said.
This is only Sprite. There's
should
nothing
have
else
it.
in here.
Just Sprite.
So Danielle,
Yeah.
give her 10 to 6 then.
Yeah, Danielle, what are your 10 to 6 for 2019?
So far.
I wasn't okay. I totally wasn't prepared for this. I will say that for sure. My number one for 2019 so far.
Wait, no, save it.
Not
Save
yet. Not
Save
yet.
it.
Okay.
Okay,
Wait, I'm trying to see
While
what
you
I've
pull-
seen so
yeah.
far this year.
Before I start shitting on this, I want to ask you guys: is How to Train Your Dragon 3 in your top 5?
I haven't
I
seen it.
still haven't seen it.
I told you already. I haven't seen.
Is that
any
a
of these movies
cartoon?
you've seen.
Yes.
I haven't seen a single How to Train Your Dragon.
Okay, you know what, Belford? I'm gonna send you a video essay I watched today about why animation is underappreciated, and it is an incredibly refined and delicate art form that needs more respect. But to my point,
Agreed.
This is the person that doesn't respect Michael Keaton. So you're gonna tell me what to respect?
take everything I say with a grain
You're
of
gonna
salt.
tell me what to respect?
I think How to Train Your Dragon 3 is as much of a step back for the franchise as Toy Story 4 is. It adds nothing new to the formula. The animation is not that much of a step up. And the villain is somehow worse than the last two, which is even hard to say. Like, it feels... I describe Toy Story 4 as hollow, and I don't think How to Train Your Dragon 3 is quite there yet. I just think its ending is the big... So it has two big sequences. The ending and the scene that you see in the trailer where they're going through the dragon cave, and it's all light and fluorescent and stuff, and it's amazing. Outside of that, the only thing it does is give Hiccup a good finishing arc. I don't know why, it just doesn't hit for me.
Who's the voice of Hiccup? It's that one guy, Jay Baruchel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Schmoedown!
Come on. I haven't even seen that movie, and I know it. The problem with How to Train Your Dragon is that it suffers from, I think, like not the problem, but it's like the lowered expectations of when they made the first movie, and then it was a success. Because I don't really think they made that movie and thought this is going to be huge, because it's DreamWorks, right? It's not Pixar, it's not Disney. So I think that was almost like a throwaway. They're like, we need to make an animated movie right now. We'll make this weird Viking dragon movie that people probably won't even like it, but we'll just throw it out and see if we can make some money. And then it was huge, and they're like, we don't know why people like that. So let's.
I think How to Train Your Dragon is their second Prince of Egypt, where it's in a glut of terrible films with no inspiration. And then, or it's like The Lion King if you want it like a Disney idea, where just the right group of people came together to make a masterpiece. And I think the first one is just that. It is a perfect animated, it's a perfect movie. Top 5 animated films of all time. The score is one of the best I've ever heard. The performances are amazing. The action is fantastic. The story has consequences. I really suggest y'all watch the first two. They are amazing. Just the third one.
I've seen
also-
the first two, though. I just haven't seen the third
So
one.
good.
I
I
love
think
very
the
hyped
first
about it.
one also was like able to. I think the people who made the first one seemed to really enjoy themselves while they were doing it, and it kind of shone through in the movie. It kind of elevated what was really not really. I mean, the story of the first one wasn't even really that good of a story. It was just kind of like it wasn't anything we haven't seen before. It was just dragons now instead of, any other. I found a creature in the wild. Oh, I'm going to become friends with it. Oh, it's going to come back and save me later. Like we've seen a million of those movies. But but they kind of elevated it because it just seemed like they were enjoying themselves, and and it shone through.
Okay, Danielle, do you have your list up? Danielle? Or not? She just muted herself.
Who owns DreamWorks? Is it Warner Brothers?
I believe Steven
NBC,
Spielberg does.
Yeah, probably.
I think it's Jeffrey Katzenberg actually, because he left Disney to form DreamWorks, then he did Ants.
But they're a subsidiary of somebody, right? Aren't they owned by somebody big?
Oh, I think it's Viacom.
Okay, so it's not. Yeah. I thought maybe
fine.
For some reason I thought it was Warner Brothers, and that would seem
Universal. So I'm stupid.
Yeah, NBC Universal. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So while Danielle is working on her tech stuff, Nat, I believe, hit us with your 5 through 3.
Okay. One of the five we already talked about, it's Us. I just think that it's a really interesting concept. I didn't feel like it had a lot to say. I don't think it had like a profound message like Get Out did, where it comments on society and everything. But I think it was a really cool idea. I love the tone. I love the atmosphere. And I think the acting is some of the best we've seen this year. That's my number 5. My number 4 is Toy Story 4, which we already talked about. I don't understand why. I thought I got it's the second most emotional movie for me this year. Like that one scene just crushed me. Number 3 is Midsummer, which is
okay. Wait. I was really hoping someone would have that. Midsummer is the biggest mind trip of the year. It is really good, but also like just misses top 10.
It's bonkers. This is crazy and disturbing and gross. It's like someone's plunging a knife through your stomach slowly and twisting it as slowly as possible, and you're just sitting there uncomfortable the entire time.
Like, I think the best comparison is so it's like in Deadpool after he gets the pipe through the head and he starts seeing hallucinogenic stuff.
Yeah.
While everything is going to hell around him. That's the feeling that Midsummer is.
Yeah, it's just really trippy, and it impacted me the most out of like most of these movies I've seen. So that's why it's in my top 3. And yeah, those are my 5 to 3.
All right. Have any of y'all have the rest of y'all seen Midsummer yet?
Yep.
No, I have not.
What do you think, Belford?
Midsummer's my number 5.
Oh, yeet. Great.
Midsummer's that movie that, first of all, it's not going to be for everyone. Like, if this isn't your kind of movie, you're going to either walk out of it or you're going to hate it or you're going to, because Midsummer is the kind of movie that makes you earn it. Like, it is like, you feel like you're earning the movie throughout. Like, it is not, it's not happy. It's not happy-go-lucky. It's not like, and it's not even like a scary movie where like there's jump scares or there's like creepy things that you're just kind of like, you can kind of like laugh off. Midsummer is like, it feels like it's like coming in on you. Like it's the creepiest movie I've seen in quite some time. And that's coming off of Hereditary, which I thought was a very creepy movie.
Yeah.
But it was like, now looking back at Hereditary versus Midsummer, I'm like, no. Hereditary wasn't very creepy. Midsummer is very creepy.
So I think the comparison is just like, so Hereditary is someone chasing at you with a knife. Midsummer is someone like a cloaked figure standing behind you, not saying anything. Like it's uneasy and disturbing, and you can't figure out why, but you can't escape it either.
Midsummer is like, so like Hereditary is like you said, like someone chasing you with a knife. Midsummer is like you can escape this person, but you have to walk through the knife to get there. Like you're getting stabbed, and you have to walk through to get away. Like that's how you get away from Midsummer. It's the end of Midsummer. Some people are going to absolutely hate, and I don't want to spoil it or anything.
Yeah.
But again, it's like that's like my kind of. This is a Andrew Guy kind of movie. This is a like it reminds me of like the like you earn Requiem for a Dream, like you earn Midsummer, like you like
okay,
you're.
But I think what Midsummer has over Requiem, which I think is really weird to say, it's comedy. It hits every single time.
Yeah.
It's a great dark comedy, especially in that finale.
Yeah, I can see that.
No, it is a dark comedy. Ari Aster has said so himself.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Can you hear me?
jokes within it and what it attempts to do is great. Like unquantifiably great, and it really shouldn't work that well, but it does. And Danielle is back, so quickly before we lose you again, give your 10 through 6, and we'll be right back.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Here you go.
Okay. Sorry, I always have the worst technical troubles. It's always me.
Oh, no, me too.
Okay, so I don't have a list prepared for my top whatever. I will say that I really, really liked The Dead Don't Die. I just enjoyed it. That meta humor is something that just I really like. I really enjoyed that movie. What else did I kind of really liked Beach Bum.
Yeah.
I know it's a weird,
I liked it.
it's a super weird movie, but
That's the McConaughey
there
movie?
was something weird about it that I was into it. I might have been really super stoned when I saw it, so that might contribute to it. But I really enjoyed it. I kind of really enjoyed it. I also did not mind the Hellboy movie. I really didn't mind it. I understand that there's a lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people said it was shit. I really didn't mind it. I thought it was fine. I saw Little. There's a scene in Little. I went to go see Little. I was literally the only person inside of that movie theater. It was just me. And there's a scene in the movie where she starts singing a Mary J. Blige song. Y'all, I just had to get up and start singing. It's just, and I was drinking, so yeah, of course.
I had to chime in with her really quick. All right, now you go.
But my number one favorite movie so far this year is Midsommar, for sure. It just like came to me personally at a very specific moment in my life right now. I'm not gonna get into it on the internet, but yes, this movie was made for me right now, so it's great. I loved Midsommar. No spoilers, but absolutely, please go take your shitty boyfriend to go see this movie.
What about shitty girlfriend?
Date night.
It's a movie that. Is this a movie that you should take somebody that you really hate to see the movie?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Wait. What did I miss from Danielle? Besides her being amazing.
She sings Mary J. Blige in the middle of a theater, and
No, literally stood up and started singing.
Why?
I was by myself. I was alone. I couldn't help it.
Oh, okay.
And Hellboy wasn't bad.
She
didn't mind it. She didn't mind it.
And Dead Don't Die was
Danielle was Hellboy was in your top 10?
No. I don't necessarily have like a top 10 ranking or anything like that. I was just going through my letterbox and movies that I saw that I enjoyed. I like John Wick 3 also. I did like that one a whole bunch.
Speaking of John Wick, that's my number 4, John Wick Chapter 3. It is a fine film. It's better than number 2, as we all agreed earlier.
It was the best.
You think anything number 2 is the best for you? Toy Story 2, the best.
Toy Story 2.
Dark Knight, Two Towers.
Matrix 2,
Empire Strikes
the best.
Back.
Lego Movie 2.
Lego Movie 2 is amazing. Avengers 2, the best one. Iron Man 2, also the best one.
You and Andrew Guy just holding that.
No. Wait, no, seriously. Guardians 2, better than the first one.
You have lost
Captain
your
America 2,
mind.
better than the first one.
Guardians 2 is horrible.
Guardians 2 is the
I wouldn't call it horrible. I wouldn't call it horrible.
Is the number 3 MCU movie, and I will do that later. It is fantastic. And Belford, you are wrong. Like, this isn't just opinion. You are wrong. It is amazing.
It is better than Guardian 1.
You're oh my gosh.
You just did not just say it's better
Where's
than Guardian
Paul?
1.
Yeah.
Paul,
No,
Bohemian
are you
Rhapsody
guys
sucks.
kidding me?
Bohemian Rhapsody sucks. It's like the bat signal for Paul.
Wait.
Wait. So
Nah,
we're just off the track. Who does their like 5 to
Wait, Danny, you gave your 5 through 3, right?
me?
I
Yeah,
have to
did
give
not.
one more of mine.
Okay. Yeah, Belford rounded out.
So my number 5 was Midsummer. My number 4 was John Wick. My number 3 is Us,
Mm-hmm.
which I think Us. We kind of talked about it earlier. I think Us suffers from Get Out, because Get Out had a very singular focus and it was a very linear movie. It's very easy to kind of follow along with the storyline and get the message. Us has a very kind of like Us can have different messages for different people depending on like your perspective and like what you're trying to like. Get Out's message is very clear. You either agree with it or you don't agree with it, or you either like it or you don't. There's a lot of messages in Us, like for different people in different stages of their life, people who've been left behind in different places. Like, so I that movie actually spoke to me a lot more than Get Out did. I like Get Out more of a movie, but I like the story of Us better than Get Out.
There's like
not being able to live up to your own personal expectations.
There's like a whole political undertone about it too, about people that were left behind, underneath, ignored.
It's a pretty big overtone, I would say.
Yeah.
And then,
Nat, you're up next with your 5 through 3.
I already won.
Oh, okay.
Danny is.
Oh, my 5. All right. Number 5, I had Climax. This is a good movie.
Was it?
It's Climax. That's my Madeline's Madeline this year. Okay.
Okay, no. Gaspar Noé is a reputable director. Whoever did Madeline's Madeline was on some hella drugs and does not matter.
I love that movie too.
No. Let's dedicate some time to Madeline's Madeline, all right, guys? This girl is a dog and she licks herself on stage or something.
It's an
That's like the
art house
first 5
movie.
minutes.
It's an art house movie. It's all about. It's a metaphor for having bipolar depression.
It's a metaphor for being on mushrooms.
What's
that
it
girl was
called?
doing some weird stuff.
Madeline?
Yeah.
Yes. Watch it on Prime. It's free.
James would like it if it was called Madeline's Madeline 2.
You would think that he would like it because this is Madeline's twice in the title.
That's true. I mean,
she doesn't make Madeline the best cooking on earth, so it's instantly like a 2 out of 10.
That's why he doesn't like it. He thought it was a sequel, and then he realized halfway through that it's not a sequel, and he's like, "This is bullshit." Normally, I don't watch the first one of the movies, only about 15 minutes of them, and then I turn it off and put on, I don't know, the sequel to Men in Black.
Men in Black 2, the best one.
Also,
Okay.
Paul Denuzzo says he's about to go full Belford because Bohemian Rhapsody 2 would be amazing.
It would suck. But side note to just brought up Men in Black. Men in Black International is hot garbage.
It's not good.
Specifically hot garbage because Tessa Thompson and Chris Hemsworth. But do not watch it. It is horrendous.
It's not good.
It's horrible.
You should not have done it.
And Danny, what was your
number 4?
Yeah.
4. Under the Silver Lake.
Oh.
I like that one. It's kind of like a little scavenger hunt, Paper Towns, but darker, and like a film noir. It's kind of throwback to those days.
Is it better than Paper Towns?
Better,
Yes.
Much better. It's a noir.
Okay.
It's like a noir mystery movie.
Because if it's like Paper Towns and the fact that it's a piece of crap, then I don't want to watch it. Okay.
Not at all. Just about the only thing that makes it Paper Towns is about a girl that just goes missing and he has to find clues. But everything else about it is like a noir movie.
Cool.
What do I have? Number 3 was Avengers Endgame.
Number 3?
Yes, number 3.
No. I know what's ahead of Avengers Endgame, and it is way better than those movies. It is
Oyama
way better than those movies. I don't care what Oyama says. Endgame is way better than those movies.
DB Cole and I are on the same level.
I don't care what little baby shark has to say about your number 2, okay? I'll get into it later.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, let's shit all over your 5 through 3 sequels. Let's go, James. Come on.
Especially Belford, you will love to.
What sequels did you choose for 5 through 3?
I don't have a sequel, but I have a 7-quel. My number 5 is Shazam. Amazing, and y'all just didn't put it on your list for whatever reason, or if it was too low. Shazam is the best movie in DCEU.
Why not?
That's like, what? Who cares? That's like, who cares about the best movie in the DCEU?
I do, because I'm competing in a geek division. I have to watch all of them.
They're like, they're all terrible.
My number 4 is Alita Battle Angel, an amazing movie with no flaws whatsoever.
That's not true at all.
The love interest. The love interest. I really wish you would have given her heart. That would have been a better movie. Into the movie. They made a better movie if she had given him her heart at like the 40-minute mark, the movie would have ended right then, and that would have been a better movie.
If the movie would have replaced all of the love scenes with rollerball scenes, then this movie would have been fucking great.
Yes.
But the love story was bullshit, did not need to be there, made it slower, but like, oh man, I did not like Alita. Oh, I didn't like it.
Also, the other thing is they set up all of these like quasi-sweet like bounty hunter characters, and then they totally just throw them away in one ball scene. It's like you could have done so much more with all these way more interesting, cooler characters. They could have done way more with the cool alien technology. Like, just so. Oh.
Yes. There was a point in the movie where like I turned over and I was like, Robert Rodriguez makes movies for kids, right? Like that's where he's in now, correct? Because this is what it feels like.
That's why James likes it. It's Spy Kids 4 or whatever.
There is a Spy Kids 4, okay?
Okay,
so
Spy Kids 5. It's Shark Girl and Lava Boy, like 7.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl is a cinema classic. Don't you dare shit on it.
Oh my god!
Dream.
It's Spy Kids. It's Death Proof. That's what Alita Battle Angel is.
Can I get my number 3 now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Do we want to keep going with your top 10?
This is a movie none of y'all have seen, and I will gladly have Roxy Stryer support on this. My number 3 is The Mustang.
Okay, you do realize that Roxy Stryer's support is like a double-edged sword, right?
Yes,
because it's like it could be a good movie, but Roxy Stryer will wholeheartedly admit that she likes terrible movies.
My only issue is I have no one on that list who I can actually go to who enjoy good movies, because Harloff, Makuga, and Riley all had Green Book on their top 10 of the year, which is a garbage movie, so I can't talk to them either. But The Mustang is this, like, it's a very intense drama about a prisoner who's in a program they're trying to tame wild horses. And it's like, Matthias Schoenaerts is the lead actor, and I don't really notice him in anything else, but it's this quiet intensity.
Does the song Wild Horses play in the movie?
It might. I don't remember. I think it does.
I hope it does.
It's genuinely fantastic. It's if I didn't see it in the theaters, I wouldn't have liked it as much because I was forced to pay attention rather than just being on my phone like an asshole. And I can't even describe how good it is. Everyone gives an amazing performance. It takes its time. It allows its characters to make these really complex decisions. And the horse was an amazing actor. Sorry, said someone else right at The Mustang. So they had the director whose name I don't have up on here, but she did a great job, and Matthias Schoenaerts, who was the lead actor, had them both on the show. Great interview. I recommend watching it, and I recommend you watch The Mustang. If you take one of my movie suggestions seriously, watch The Mustang.
I mean, it's coming off the heels of Alita Battle Angel, so
it's really good.
Can't get much more of a recommendation than that.
And I'm gonna call him out now. I think he might have left the chat, but I'll still do it for him. Jonathan Peck had his full top 10 in the chat. He said number 5, Rocket Man, Number 4, Us, and number 3, Far From Home, which is too damn high.
Lord de Clermont-Tonnerre directed The Mustang.
She is French, and being a French woman, I have to love her.
Speaking of French women,
there's a lot of like bad things that can get you into. There's not all French women are great.
I'm aware.
But up to this point, you love all French women.
That's not wrong.
They are the sequels of women.
No. I'm like Bill Hader in the one SNL sketch. It's just like, what would you do if a woman did da? It's like, I wouldn't ask a question. I'd listen.
The date.
Yeah. It's a
match date or whatever.
Whose name is it or something like that? It's like,
yeah.
I wouldn't say anything.
What a fucking douchebag answer! Like, I'm sorry. Like,
it is, and that's the joke.
What a douchebag answer.
Side note, SNL has had some great stuff that we can get into TV later. SNL has had some great stuff this year. John Mulaney has been the best guest they've had in like 10 years.
John Mulaney.
That entire episode is amazing, and they bring back the lobster sketch. Oh my god,
The lobster sketch was great.
Yeah.
And we'll be talking about Euphoria pretty soon, I hope.
Yes, we have the stream has been going for
And
about
Barry.
an hour now, and we still
And
haven't
Barry,
done the rest of our stuff. But okay,
An hour and a half.
so if y'all want to get to the good stuff, we got to get through these amazing movies first. So who wants to go with their number 2?
All right, I'll hurry through mine. My number 2, we already talked about, is John Wick 3. My number 1 is obviously Endgame because that's the best movie of the year.
Okay, wait. Let's reserve the Endgame hype for a bit because everybody has it in their top 2, I think, other than Danny, you bastard. So, Danny, what are your top 2?
Speaking of French Woman, the sequel of Woman, mine is High Life at number 2.
Stop
And,
making
my
up
number
movie
1
titles.
And my number 1 is a movie called Her Smell. Which I didn't make up that title. It's an actual movie.
French Women and Her Smell. God, Danny, you really are single, aren't you?
I am really single.
Oh, I'm sorry, Danny.
Painfully single. I'm sad.
All right, Danielle, what is your top 2?
So I totally fudged this whole setup up. My bad. I don't necessarily have a 2, like just trying to look at my list. I don't know what I would place ahead of anything else. Midsummer is definitely my number 1. What I would like to just give a quick shout out to also, just in case you all really want to deep dive into my personal life. Someone Great. Have y'all seen Someone Great yet on Netflix?
No. I never heard of it.
Gina Rodriguez is in it. It's another breakup movie. It's really good. It's really good. There, that's all. Midsummer was my number 1.
Go watch Warrior. On
Warrior's
a couch.
amazing.
That's the preferred method of dealing with a breakup is watching
Wait.
Warrior on someone's couch.
No, that's another great thing I wanted to bring up.
500 days, 5 summer actually.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
so have you guys watch College Humor?
Yeah.
Okay,
Like
they did-
ever?
Yeah, like so they did a sketch like 10 years ago called the Douchebag Oscars or something along those lines.
Oh, Fight Club.
Yeah. So they're like, let's get all the movies from like 2009 or something, and the best movie is Fight Club. It is always Fight Club.
Yeah.
Warrior is the go-to breakup movie for the next 100 years.
Yes.
You have to get drunk, smoke some weed, and watch Warrior every time you break up with somebody. It is
The Andrew Guy
guaranteed.
technique.
Yes.
All right. On that note, my number 2 is Endgame, and my number 1 is Tyler Perry's A Medea Family Funeral. No, it's Booksmart.
Okay. Belfer, you're saved. My number 2 is Booksmart, and my number 1 is Endgame. So
You were close to being right. That's pretty cool.
What, can
Okay.
I talk about my number 1 movie though?
yeah. So Danny talked about Kelsey's here. Yes. Okay. Before we get into Danny's pretentious corner over there, like John Roca, Kelsey, do you have a top 10 of the year you want to share? Some movies we haven't talked about yet.
I missed part of it, so I'm not entirely sure. But I'm trying to think of one I really like.
Wait. Here. What Kelsey thinks about this?
Okay.
Frank Janish in the chat called us Take 3 Junior. Bitch. I know where you are. I know where you sleep. It's somewhere in Indiana, but I know where you sleep.
It's not even Indiana.
Somewhere in Illinois.
Yeah.
Frank, let me tell you right now, we're not Take 3 Junior, all right? Because I'm older than everyone on Take 3, so I can't be Take 3 Junior, all right? So
Take 3
shut your
senior.
face. Go crunch some numbers. Make sure you wear your pocket square Frankie numbers and get out of my face.
Joke's on you. We don't cover our back walls in Funko Pops like Chris Doman, and we aren't.
He's not on Take 3 anymore.
Oh, I was thinking of dedicated art. Yeah, we don't know who's on Take 3 anymore. So
We don't.
Matt Kerr, great, and everybody else is pretty okay. All right.
great. Besides being a Bateman fan, and everyone else is just like
Kearns isn't even a Bateman fan. He's a
Kearns
Riley
isn't a
fan.
Batman
That's
fan.
the worst
He's a Riley
part.
fan.
He doesn't even like Bateman. He just likes Riley.
I have a case
Nobody
of
likes
Can you please
Bateman.
shut up and not point to my disease?
Okay, Frank, first of all, how dare you?
Yeah, when Danielle is on the show too, Frank. How
Yeah.
dare you?
And Kelsey. What?
Yeah.
Well, no, because Danielle and Frank are best friends apparently.
Oh. Also, Take 3 doesn't shout out Danielle, who's the awesomest person in the world. So Take 3 can suck it, except for Matt Kearns. He's awesome.
Only one of us has Video Drew on their show, and who is that? Oh, right, us. Boom, we win. I'm taking my
We had Smets before everybody else. Oh, now everybody's else on the Smets train. Oh, we had Video Drew on before anybody else. Oh, now everybody's like Video Drew.
Oh, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure we had Eric Zipper on before the rundown had Eric Zipper on also. So
Yeah, all of a sudden we had Zipper Week, and then all of a sudden,
Everybody had Zipper Week.
Hey, Boat, what are we gonna have for our show this week? Let's look
We
at
had
Super
Rachel
Bowl action,
Silvestrini,
dude.
one of the greatest women on this planet, one of the greatest people on this planet. And y'all haven't had her on yet. No one has. And you dare to say that we're Take 3 Junior? Okay, I will go heel over this shit, Frank Janish. Frank Stats Boy, Frankie
I know you're
Numbers.
Frank's used to people, like when Frank shows up in their little chat box window, that they go, "Oh my God, it's Frank! Oh, what do we talk about, guys? Oh my God, Frank's here! Oh, hey Frank, let me ask you a question. Hey, in the third round of the fifth match of the seventh season of Schmoedown, who missed a question? We don't care about that shit, Frank. All right, all we care about is the family." And Robert Meyer Burnett's in charge now. So everything's fucking great.
Yeah,
We might have a new co-host on the rundown now that Robert Meyer Burnett's in charge. Oh, it's gonna be glorious.
Also, we had on Brandon Hanna, who said himself in the chat, hello, is that Belford? Gross. So, and you know what? When we can have Brandon Hanna support most of us, I think that's a sign of quality.
Here's the thing about Brandon Hanna, all right? His lifelong dream of hanging out with his big brother Ben Bateman finally came to fruition, and he got to say boom and like the pitch. That was a spot on imitation of what he did. And then he got to talk during tag and just repeat my answer of the greatest R-rated comedy of being Superbad. You know, not an original thought in his head. Brandon Hanna was on the show. Great job, Hanna. Cool.
So you know what the best R-rated comedy is? Booksmart. Let's talk about it and not shit on these lovely people who tend to have terrible opinions. R-rated. Yeah, it is. There are titties, aren't there? I thought it was R-rated.
I don't think so.
It is because they say fuck and have nudity. So it's guaranteed.
I could have sworn they talked that Riley and Bateman said that it wasn't R-rated. Otherwise, they would have put it on their lists. It is.
It's R-rated. It's R-rated.
Yeah, no, okay. So I'm not gonna spoil it, but there is nudity, and so it's an automatic R.
Okay, so let's talk about
for whatever reason. Booksmart is fantastic. I almost never watch movies twice in the theater, and I saw this one twice in 2 weeks. It is fantastic. It's flat out. It's one of my favorite comedies of all time already. I have a deep love for it. That it speaks to my generation in a unique way. That's my reason for loving it. It just feels like it's made for me and my people.
Your people.
Frank Janis is number one. We don't care about you, Janice. Shut up.
Janice isn't gonna come here anymore. He's not gonna
Frank Janis also spoiled Booksmart for me. So.
What a terrible person.
Janice,
awful human being.
So, and why do you lovely people, co-hosts of the greatest podcast of all time called Action, what do you think of Booksmart?
I am not in your generation. I am in a slightly different generation. And yet it was still my number one movie of the year, which really goes to show how well done that movie was and how well written that movie was and how it speaks to multiple generations, your generation and generations that are slightly askew from your generation. Let's put it that way. I did it for the gram. I think that's what the kids are saying this day. But yeah. And for Olivia Wilde's first directorial debut, that was really amazing. I just think it's like it was very well done, very well acted, extremely well written. That was my number one movie. And Sorry loved it, and she doesn't even like comedy.
How do you not like comedy?
She's from Finland. They don't have comedy there.
They just have the cold and pain. Kelsey, have you seen Booksmart?
I have not. Here in Utah, it was in theaters for like a week, and then by the time I even heard about the movie, it was already gone. So I have to wait for rental.
It's R-rated. It's in one theater in Utah for a minute and a half.
Yep.
And then that's it.
That's pretty much what happened. Yep.
I could have said something very bad about that. But
and you're not?
Moving on.
No, I am not, because it's a spoiler and offensive. So, Nat, Danny, Danielle, what did y'all think of the second best movie of the year, Booksmart?
Can we just talk a minute about how amazing Billy Lord is in this movie?
Okay. Best lead actress guaranteed, Lupita Nyong'o. Best supporting actress guaranteed. No one can take it from her. Is Billy Lord?
She's so good.
She is perfect. Oh my God.
She is the next. She's gonna be the breakout star from that movie, like for sure. Like
I'm trying to think. This is me showing my horrible traitor side. I think on an old episode of the top 10 with Roka and Nos, they did like top 10 breakthrough performances. This is Billy Lord's breakthrough performance, and she I don't know what even to compare her to. She is a tour de force, gravitas.
Well, I mean, everyone's
some other words like
to Superbad, and it's gonna be the just like Superbad launched what's his name? I'm blank. Not McLovin.
Sarah, Jonah Hill, McLovin.
It's like it launched Jonah Hill. This is gonna launch her. She's gonna be getting whatever movie she wants next.
Second. I'm trying to handle the chat right now. Melissa's acting up.
All right, so have we got everybody's top movies yet? Kelsey, what's your top 5?
So that's what I've been trying to think. I didn't come prepared.
Utah only has like one theater, and they only show 2 movies, so it was like How to Train Your Dragon the whole time. Is that what it was? Or
I have not seen How to Train Your Dragon.
How many sequels have you seen? Because chances are those are James' favorites.
I mostly saw the comic book movies this year, so of course Spider-Man, Endgame, Shazam, Captain Marvel. Loved all
Shazam is amazing, y'all. See?
I love Shazam. It's like my favorite DC movie.
And if Kelsey said it, then it's right. So you know what? Shazam is amazing.
It's not a really high bar. It's not.
But
I still like Man of Steel the most.
You're wrong, Danny.
I like Man of Steel too, but I don't know. Shazam was so good.
But I haven't seen Shazam yet, so things could change.
And so remember, the number one movie of the year that we haven't talked about that we really need to get into? No, Danny. It is Avengers Endgame. And I'm going to hyperbole the shit out of this movie, so I want you all to take it first before I ruin the fun.
Okay, the reason why this movie is number 2 and not number 1 this year is there's not really like a lot of movies this year so far that have been just amazing. So it's kind of been, and nobody wanted to like put anything up against Endgame, which is I feel like why we haven't gotten anything great yet. I think a lot of people expected Endgame to still be number 1 at the box office. Like I don't know now.
$7 million short.
Endgame was just like fan service for like Marvel fans and like a way to bring 22 movies to kind of some sort of mid completion. I honestly didn't like it as much as Infinity War. I thought Infinity War was a better movie than it. Not a better movie. It was a more enjoyable movie. Like everything in Infinity War was great. Everything up until the final fight in Endgame, I like did not really care about. All the time travel stuff, couldn't care less.
Yeah, I agree. Infinity War is definitely my favorite of the two. I'll admit I fangirled with all the, Easter eggs and references and things like everybody else. But when it comes to rewatchability, I'll be watching Infinity War way more often than I will Endgame, for sure.
Fair point. Yes, well done.
Well,
Anybody
the only
else?
one.
I like Endgame way better than Infinity War. I've seen Infinity War twice, came out in like a year, and I've seen Endgame 3 times in the theater. It's so good. It's so rewatchable, which you wouldn't think it would be, but it is. And I just think it's better than Infinity War in every conceivable way, in my opinion. And yeah, I really liked Infinity War. I just didn't love it as much as everyone else. But Endgame just blew me away.
Yeah, I agree, Nat. I thinking about it now, I think I do like Endgame more than I like Infinity War. I like when things tie up. I'm a big fan of nostalgia and a big fan of Easter eggs in any sort of movie. I'm that sucker. So that movie was really great for me in that sort of a way, and I just really, really enjoy arguing why the big like A-Force scene was fine for the movie.
It was amazing. It was awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So, y'all want to hear my overblown thoughts? Oh, Danny,
I
go
just
ahead.
want to say that Endgame's the only one that has America's ass in it.
Yes.
I did enjoy it.
Yes, Danny. Thank you.
And Professor Hulk
Twice.
giving Ant-Man a taco.
America's
Let's
ass.
just go there.
It
Let's just
has
say that.
America's ass twice because America's ass fights America's ass.
I love it.
Hail Hydra.
It's really hard for me to say. It's really hard for me
Hail
to pick
Hydra.
two between two. If you want to know my full thoughts, go watch our old video. Where Alex and listen, I.
Oh yeah, I forgot we did that. Yeah. Right. So.
Wink, wink, plug.
Melissa says Chris Evans' beard, y'all.
Oh yes, absolutely.
That's the biggest
100%.
loss in the
Yes.
movie.
Oh yes.
That was where I cried. I didn't really care about Iron Man. But once that beard died, so did my soul.
Yeah, America's beard.
So
That's
here's
why
why here's why it's my number one of the year. I don't think it's as good as Infinity War. As a movie on its own, I think it's worse than a lot of Marvel movies, which are just tighter scripted, better acted, and everything.
Sure.
But it just feels like something incomparable in scope. It is everything is happening. Every character gets a moment. All of the emotion hits, all of the comedy hits. And it's a movie that I saw twice in theaters, which again is a rare thing to happen. And each time I was on my feet cheering. I was sobbing for a good 20 minutes. And very rarely do movies affect me that way. But the reason it's my number one, and the reason y'all are going to lose your shit, it is one of my favorite films of all time. It is in my top 10 of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have never found another movie which impacts me so emotionally deeply as that. And I didn't even come into the MCU when it first started. I started in 2012. I missed 4 years. But even so, I carry this franchise with me like it's my own baby. And I think it could be like a generational thing where like past generations, they had Star Wars or Star Trek if they're weird. Or some like slightly older than me has X-Men when you're wrong. I think the MCU is my generation's like magnum opus, and I just throw myself into the universe way too much than I should, and seeing what is like the resolution of all of that impacted me deeply.
I mean, it's a series of 21 sequels. Of course you love it, James. Of course.
I'm being serious, Delford.
This is like capping off 21
Yes.
sequels.
No.
He's just here giving this heartwarming speech, and then Nelson comes in.
This is my number 8 film of all time. And that's ahead of stuff like Sweeney Todd, Louis Warmest Color, 500 Days of Summer, Fight Club. I love it more than those because nothing has came even close to the impact it had on me emotionally.
So wait, you like Infinity War better than Endgame, but Endgame is in your top
I think Infinity
8.
War is a better made movie. It's a lot tighter. I think Thanos is better there. And that's it makes sense why he's not as good in Endgame, but I think him as a villain is more complex and more interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's
And-
one of those like it's not your favorite movie, but it's like
Yeah.
it still
Like-
makes it into like your top
Literally.
10.
And in my actual list, Endgame is 1, Infinity War is 2, but that's a personal enjoyment thing. I think I would put in like, even though that's without saying like Winter Soldier, Guardians 1, a bunch like First Avenger, which I really like. I think all of those are better movies than Endgame. But in terms of personal enjoyment, I think Endgame is the peak of all time. Close to.
I wouldn't
But
even
now that we're not serious.
I wouldn't even put Endgame in my top 5 favorite MCU movies. It
Well,
keeps
you can-
falling. Like the more I see it, the more it just falls down for me.
Well, Belford, you're bad and you should feel bad.
Because the more I see it, like all of the emotional like moments that are supposed to like tug at your heartstrings, I'm like, they just don't. The only one that really like hits me every time is Cap picking up the hammer. Like everything, Tony dying, I was like, we knew this was coming. Also, like the fact that we know that it's because of a movie contract and not because of like what actually happened in the story.
It makes sense. It makes sense in the story. Shut up.
I'm not denying that's like that it doesn't make sense in the story, but we all know that the reason why it happened in this story is because of a movie contract, not because of like it makes the most sense for the
I
story.
can tell you, there are very clear points where I cry in both my viewings. It was on your left. It was Peter Parker and Stark hugging.
Oh, I didn't care at all.
It was A-Force, surprisingly enough. I love the A-Force moment, and it was just like I was getting back up, and then just powerful women, and I just fell apart again, and it was amazing.
Here's my problem with the Peter Parker.
Wait. I'm not done yet, Albert. Don't take my time. This is my favorite movie.
First of all, as we all know, I hate Spider-Man, so
Wait,
that's
so here's
point
the
A.
fun I have where I can just turn up my microphone and I can just talk over you. The number 4 moment was when Tony Stark dies and everything. But number 5, the moment that's really killer, is when you go back in time and you see when you see Captain America and Peggy Carter just dancing together. And
Yes.
I think Cap is probably like my second favorite behind Spider-Man in the MCU.
Yeah.
And seeing him finally get what he wants and what he's been fighting for all this time, and the reason he got to modern times in the first place, sacrificing himself for her and everybody on Earth, and he finally got that resolution. I'm getting choked up now thinking about it. It's just it hurts when you see someone finally get what they deserve.
Yep. There's never been a
it's so
time
sweet.
when the guy gets the girl that I've been so happy to see on film.
Oh my god!
Well, it's also
I
the
Avengers
guy.
Endgame is the best romance film of all time. Yeah.
It's the guy that should have gotten the girl like 17 movies ago or whatever. Like it's been 18 movies or whatever since he should have gotten that girl.
84 years.
Here's my problem with the Spider-Man Tony Stark thing. First, we all know that I hate Spider-Man anyway, but that's beside the point. The Spider-Man Tony Stark relationship feels so shoehorned into the end of this 22-year run. Like it's been 3 movies, and also he's the first one to go up to him to say goodbye. I don't know, not his wife, not his flipping wife.
Hey.
He monopolizes all the time with
They don't
as Tony
line
Stark
up.
is dying.
Peter Parker was just near him first.
No, he wasn't. He was like the
Thank you,
second
Nat
one
and
there.
Chat. Boo this man. Where's my hat? I need to boo this man.
I do think it was important for Pepper to come in after Peter just to close it out.
Yeah.
I like Pepper had to go last. She had to be the one to comfort Tony in that specific moment. So
yeah. And
Pepper,
just wait, Belford. What I think you need to remember is the kid in Iron Man 2 who looks he's Iron Man 2. Who
Iron Man 3.
Whatever.
Harley.
Yeah. That kid is Peter Parker, the one who tries to stop someone with his repulsor, and actual Tony Stark comes in and shoots the guy. He has adored Spider-Man or Iron Man for most of his life. And when he lost Uncle Ben, the next man to step up and be that father figure is Tony Stark.
Wait,
He helped him become
do we
Spider-Man.
even know if he lost Uncle Ben? Because that hasn't appeared in any other movies yet.
He says so. And on the
'cause he had
letters on the
leg- 'cause he
suitcase,
had
apart
the
from home,
luggage? Oh man,
says Benjamin Franklin
what an emotional moment.
Parker.
He's using a suitcase, you say? Oh. Also, here's the thing, all right? It's like at the Oscars when like a group of people win the Oscar, right? And it's like that you have like 3 people, and the first guy gives a speech and it's kind of short, and then that second person the Spider-Man of the group, says this long ass 5-minute speech, and then the most important the third person goes to give their speech, and they start playing them off. Because Tony just dies when it's Pepper's turn to talk to him. You sons of bitches.
All right.
Spider-Man: Homecoming is the worst MCU movie ever.
You fucking mind. Get out of here.
The worst.
Wait.
I'll take Iron Man 2.
You want to see something magical? Watch this.
World.
And just like that, the bad opinions have left the episode, everybody.
Oh my god. He just triggered me. Like, fucking
He triggered all of us.
All right, give time for Belford to come back if he wants to do that. So, are there? Oh yeah, actually no. So, Danny, to calm us down, talk about her smell and whatever else you did last night.
Yeah.
I don't think you want. The reason why I like that movie is because I thought that performance was one of the best performances by Elizabeth Moss. I like this movie, and I like Riot Girl. So it was cool. I don't really
Can't hear you very well, Danny.
Yeah, I can barely hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So as we're doing that, isn't Endgame just the best?
The best.
Right.
I
So
like Midsummer more than Endgame.
and you can be wrong.
That's
I think when it comes down to it, Endgame it's not as good a movie as a bunch of stuff that's come out, but just as a pure piece of fan enjoyment, like a comic book come to life, it's a favorite more than a best.
it's just like 20 years ago when I was 6. I could have never imagined this to be a thing. Like, it's just amazing.
So I guess Belford's just staying out of the chat. So I kicked him permanently, I guess. Oh no. Okay. So while we're getting everything set up and Danny getting his mic cleared, so what we're gonna do next is still not guaranteed. If you guys want us to do something in particular, whether it's talk about TV or make a spoke list or anything else, let us know and we can do it. Yeah, Danny, you sound better.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
My phone was I had to charge my phone, so my camera is gone. I have low battery.
Oh.
What were you asking you to talk about?
Her smell.
Oh, right, her smell. The reason why I thought this is the number one movie for me is just because I thought this was the best acting performance I saw from Elizabeth Moss. I liked the idea of it being a movie of like she's almost like this tragic character that you really don't like. And I don't know. I like the kind of smaller movies and stuff. And it was based on like a kind of like a Courtney Love, but like kind of his thing. So, but I'm gonna see Midsummer tomorrow, and I'm gonna see Wild Rose. So probably those are gonna be taking over. So,
I really want
Danny, please message me as soon as you see Midsummer, please.
I will.
Thank you.
I'm sure I'm gonna have lots of things to say.
We gonna talk.
Oh crap! Oh, that's not good. So it turns out that I accidentally kicked Belford permanently.
You monster!
So I'm gonna try and get this fixed. In the meantime, so Kelsey, I know you don't have any stuff to talk about, but feel free to just bring up any movies y'all like want to talk about more, like Yesterday, High Life.
I have something to talk about.
Wait. I'm finishing the list I have right here. Last Black Man in San Francisco and Dead Don't Die are both some indie darlings right now. I know Paul brought up Triple Frontier, which is garbage. You can talk about it too. And the 2 live-action Disney remakes that we have so far, Aladdin and Dumbo, are both interesting opportunities. So have that. I'll be right back and try to save.
Belford.
Trying to go save Belford.
What movie did you want to talk about? Do you know?
I don't want to necessarily talk about a specific movie, but like if anyone who is out there right now, if you guys like books, if you like movies, please send me your adaptation suggestions, like any book that you've read or a movie that you know is a book or anything like that. Please send that my way. I'm working on a personal project and I would really like to have more in my list. So send that to me because we were talking about Billy Lord earlier and I just picked up Postcards from the Edge by Carrie Fisher, and which is a book. Meryl Streep, or which is a movie. Meryl Streep, isn't it? Also, so I've never seen the movie. I haven't read the book, so I'm really excited to like dig into this and dive into this. But that's my sort of thing. I love adaptations, and I love to read books. I've been reading since I was 4 years old, y'all. And movies are great. So send me your adaptation suggestions. Thank you.
Have you read The Time Traveler's Wife?
No, I haven't read the book yet, and I've seen the movie, and I really enjoyed it, and I really, really want to read the book.
I enjoyed the book more than the movie.
Yeah.
So
The movie was disappointing, but reading the book, you'll cry like at least 4 or 5 times. I love that movie. At least.
I love to cry when I read, so that's great.
That's my suggestion. So what else? What else is interesting going on the movies that we haven't talked about?
How about that Aladdin remake, everybody? Wasn't that terrible?
You know,
I didn't see it.
Really quick about the Aladdin remake, just because this is like, all right, I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. Literally, like I've always said that the only person that would be able to replace Robin Williams' Genie would be Will Smith. I've said that for years, honestly, years. But the one thing that really, really, really upset me about the movie was this one particular scene where, if you've seen, and I'm sorry for spoilers, but I have to talk about it. There's one scene in the original Disney animated movie where Jasmine leaps across a building. She basically pole vaults across a building. Aladdin is super stunned. She throws a stick at him and she goes, "I'm a fast learner." That line like shaped my entire life basically. And to not have that in the live action remake really, really, really bummed me out. Like I made a face, like I audibly said something out loud in the theater, which I never do, and I was like, this is bullshit, because she was scared to jump, and that really sucked for me. The music, the song that she had was great. I thought that was fine, but that one particular line not being in the movie really fucked me up.
Yeah, I thought it was really weird that they didn't have that in the movie. Like, it just kind of really took me out of it. I'm like, why wouldn't they have her say that line? Like, it doesn't make sense. But I really like the movie overall. Like, I thought it was as good as it could be, considering, like, there's like, you don't want to make it exactly like the original. You don't want to make it too much of a departure. And I think they balanced that really well. I really like her new song, "Speechless." I thought it was a good addition. And yeah, I thought it was good.
I liked it. I really enjoyed it. I thought Will Smith did a great job. I really thought he did a great job. I really liked what they did with the genie's character in that. But I really did enjoy it. That one specific thing just irked me. That's it.
Yeah, no, that's totally understandable. Anyone else?
How was Raja?
That was what?
How was like Jafar as the villain? Because that guy didn't convince me as Jafar.
Hot Jafar.
Thoughts on Hot Jafar?
Hot Jafar. Hot Jafar for sure.
I didn't.
I remember
he wasn't menacing though. The actor who played him.
No,
in the live action.
He wasn't as creepy as the animated.
Yeah, and Jafar is one of the better Disney villains too.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they would have had the actor be a few years older and would have been the exact same dialogue, the exact same delivery, it would have come off as creepy, because I still took it as creepy. But I think if an older dude were to be that way, it would come off more creepy than what it did. But yeah, it wasn't as creepy as it could have been.
Buffer's back.
Hi, welcome back.
Don't tempt me again, Belford.
You're lucky you're not coming to New York. You're lucky.
Well,
You're so lucky.
when I get on the Schmoedown, I'll be sure to go to New York just to prove to you my opinions are better.
What are you buying a ticket to the Schmoedown? Is that how you're getting on there? That's the only way you're getting on there?
See, with the VIP ticket I got from Jake Yakoveta, great friend of the show, I can go and talk to Harloff myself and say, "Hey, Harloff, I heard you need some more people with a great hair. I bet you should get me on the Schmoedown. Put me up against I don't know, whoever you want to lose."
First of all, that conversation would be like, "Oh my God, it's Christian. Hi, Christian. Can I get a picture with you? Look at my hair. Can I get a picture with you?" And also, just so you know, Christian Harloff has gone on the record and said that I am his favorite fan.
That's true. That's absolutely true.
So
I'm not a fan. I'm a competitor. Get the difference.
What? Who what? In the what now?
All right.
In the who's
So-
who's a what's?
Literally nobody is talking about what they want us to do next.
I told you.
So
we
let's
should
just
talk
move
about
on.
TV.
TV.
Talk
Do y'all
about
want
Barry.
to talk about TV?
Let's talk about Barry.
I was really waiting for you guys to talk about Euphoria so I can use the bathroom, but you know, I just want anyway. But yeah, here's my bathroom break.
Before we get to TV, because we're on the topic of movies, now is the time we should use to talk about The Spoke.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yes.
Or
Is this our paid advertisement yet?
Yes, our unpaid advertisement.
Yes.
Is it written
Thank you,
hour long?
The Spoke is a list, is a movie rating site like IMDb or Letterboxd. But this time, you get to see the ratings of not only everyone who uses the app, but also your friends. And Belford left just to stop hearing about this, apparently. So, and Ben and Drew are very passionate about this. So what we want to do is to create another list to help get them promotion for the app that they love. So what we're going to do in the stream is, if any of y'all have suggestions about topics that you want to do.
Is anyone still watching?
Yes, we have Frank Janish, Paul Denuzzo, Kevin Moreno, Melissa, and I'm sure other people who are quietly just stalking, like, sorry.
Quiet lurker.
Watching. So, what we want to do is make a list for The Spoke. Everyone in the chat sound off what you want to hear. If not, I can fire some suggestions, and the rest of the crew can as well.
Best sequels ever.
Don't act like I wouldn't do that.
I'm gonna make that list. That's gonna be a list that I make. But a list that I am making right now is Disney animated movies. Just trying to get as much as my studying in as possible, and
Wow.
just listing Disney animated movies. I'm trying to do like a full list. There was someone on the movie Trivia Face Off. If anyone follows any of them, what's up, dudes? Someone asked for a list of Disney animated movies excluding Pixar and a ranked list of that. So I'm going to make a rank listing of Disney animated movies excluding Pixar on Spoke. So you can find that there. You can find me at Danny Joy on Spoke. I'm sure that's what it is if that's how you do this. Sorry.
Just a reference. The person who asked for that list is Chris Doman from
Thank you,
Dedicated to
Chris.
Art, who is a bitch who I can beat in Movie Trivia Face Off, and I will gladly do so. But because he is within the community, we will support him to an extent.
I think that that's Take 3 Junior, right? Dedicated to art.
Yes.
That's who that. Okay.
That's-
It literally is, because a lot of the crew from it did become dedicated to art.
Yes.
More like dedicated to fart, am I right?
And we are canceled. Goodbye,
We're
everybody.
canceled.
Well, goodbye, awards.
That award is already coming this way. Did you watch the Video Drew interview? Did
Oh,
you see
so-
Alex eat a fly?
Small shout out.
Up.
Unless I am mistaken, our Video Drew interview is now the most viewed video on this channel, which means that woman's getting the respect she deserves because she
That's
is
right.
amazing.
Okay, so next we need to interview Drew McQueenie, because anytime there's a Drew on one of our interviews, it is gold. All right, so McQueenie is next.
Yes, we can have. So actually, the problem is if we have on Drew McQueenie, he'll talk movies and talk about why Batman '89 is an underrated classic, and my opinions will just be shut down.
No, he won't. Won't talk about how it's an underrated classic. He'll talk about how it's a properly rated classic because everyone loves Batman '89 except for people who only love sequels.
Hey, okay.
People who were born in the late '90s, early aughts.
So you know what the best prequel is? X-Men First
Prequel.
Class. Well, while we're just talking about other things, we can just bring up comic book movies and just vamp. Other people are trying to not send in list ideas.
What are the best prequels? That's a good question.
Godfather 2 is number
That's a good
one.
list.
Just saying that right now. Godfather 2 is the best prequel and the best sequel.
Pure prequel.
Here. And actually here. So I'm gonna do a little promo on Twitter. But actually you guys just have some list ideas what you want to do.
Well, Paul didn't that top 10 movies that Spence thinks are awful, but he's damn wrong. Number 1 is Green Book.
There you go. That's a good list. I like it. Green Book is great.
Green Book is fucking garbage.
Mahershala Ali, and every movie with Mahershala Ali in it is great.
Mahershala Ali
Alita
is
Battle
amazing in that
Angel.
movie. He's damn good. The issue is that he's booked a supporting actor, even though it's not his story. It's the story of some white man who thinks that he can assert his opinions.
Wait a minute. What are you talking about? It is this. Who's telling the story? The white guy.
I'm not saying no. I'm saying he shouldn't be telling the story because it's not his story to tell.
Was he not there?
I mean, he was there, but it was the other dude's family's rights who gave it up for the making of this film, right? Am I wrong on that?
No.
I haven't seen Green Book. I haven't.
This is the
Jake
thing.
Bell, or not Fate. So Tony
this is the
Bellalonga,
thing.
the actual guy in it, he wrote a book. Or
Right.
No.
Which
His
is what was
kid
option for the movie.
Yeah.
It's his story.
His kid wrote the book about Green Book, and then it was adapted by Peter Farrelly. The problem is that Jake Bellalonga, the kid, not only is he a xenophobic racist who believes that Muslims were cheering during 9/11 when the Twin Towers fell, he's putting his father on a platform that he frankly doesn't deserve. That everyone around, I forget. Okay, I'm only passionate. I wrote a 10-page paper about this, so I know way too much.
You
The
think
reason that Ali's character is
Wait, you wrote
the way he
a
is.
10-page paper. You don't know his name.
Dr. Shirley, okay? It took me a while. It took me JDE rule. Okay. So
Dr. Donald Shirley.
Jake Bellalonga puts his dad on a platform because it's his dad. And
No son has ever done that before.
No, exactly. And that's the issue. It's not his story to tell. And you have these conflicting ideas from Shirley's family who said that he didn't do any of this, that he liked fried chicken, that he enjoyed the music that Tony recommended to him, and that he got a good relationship with them. They didn't abandon them.
You can't say that it's not his story to tell because his dad was there. His dad was
okay.
When these events occurred, his dad was there.
But
I'm just saying.
You're taking away a gay black man's story. You're taking away his action and his reason for existing, and you're having a straight white dude say his story through his own eyes.
No, he's not. He's not telling his story. He's a player in his dad's story.
Tony told the story to Jake, who wrote the book, and then Peter Farrelly, another straight white man, adapted the story. That is the issue. This is a gay black man's story told by a straight white dude who does not understand the challenges he faced. It is put through a lens that it should not be put through because this is a very complex and interesting man, and we don't see that. We see a caricature.
Then make another movie telling his story.
I agree with that, but that doesn't take away from how bad Green Book is.
To just say that Green Book's a bad movie because it doesn't tell the story you want told doesn't make it a bad movie. This is the story that was told was a perfectly fine, acceptable story, and was a good movie.
Oh no!
It won
on its own, it's a mediocre piece of perfectly fine garbage that tries nothing to do to be special or original.
Scott Mantz said that this was the Citizen
Scott
Kane.
Mantz is wrong.
Scott Mantz loved that movie so much.
Scott Mantz. That was his.
Scott Mantz, Christian Harloff, Mark Ellis, that entire white crew loved that movie.
The best part of the live watch of that Oscars is Scott Manson's reaction juxtaposed with Jay Washington's reaction. Because Scott Manson's running around celebrating, and Jay Washington looks like he wants to fight somebody.
He should. He should have.
Why? He's not related to Donald Shirley.
Okay.
One thing if that was his dad or something.
So, I see Nat in the chat just backing away. Okay.
Well, nobody's watching it.
I don't think anybody has had a serious answer. So I would actually wouldn't mind just shooting it among ourselves. What I would like to do is top 10 romantic comedies.
Yay!
There you go.
Like
So-
ever?
Wait,
Yes,
are there
ever.
any romantic comedy sequels? Because what's James gonna put on
Yep.
this list?
Yep. American
There is
Pie
actually
2. Grease
one I
2. Look at I have friends who love Grease 2, and I don't know why. I need to beat them over the head and get some good opinions in their skulls.
Because Michelle Pfeiffer's great at everything.
Like in Batman Returns, the best sequel.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought you said something else. You said Grease 2 with Michelle Pfeiffer in it. Okay, like I don't know what I thought you said before that, but yeah,
What do you think
Grease
of
2
Ant-Man
is
the
actually
Wasp?
fucking great. Like I need a cool writer for sure. COOLRIDER.
Okay, so what do y'all want to do for the list on the Spoke?
I like romantic comedies. I like that. That's a good list.
Great. Any
So,
objections
What do
or
we
other
got?
ideas?
You all seen the movie About Time?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love
Number one, put it on there.
Number 1.
Is that a
Numero
comedy?
No,
No.
That movie
It's a
is
romance
so
movie.
sad.
it's really sad.
Mhm.
Funny. Cute.
It has
It's funny.
It
But
has
the
funny
whole
moments.
thing. Okay, I can't even give a
It's a
spoiler
sad
about why, but the whole thing is framed around a very tragic event.
Mhm.
It's not framed around the tragic event. It's absolutely not framed around the tragic event. The tragic event happens and it's fucking sad and brutal. But overall, the movie's funny. Like there's a lot of laughs inside of that movie. I would definitely call it a romantic comedy. It's heartfelt, it's personal, it tugs at all of the right heartstrings. Like listening to Domhnall Gleeson talk about fucking what's her name? What's the
Brandon
model's name?
Adams. Oh,
Titties.
I keep wanting to say. God damn it, James.
Wait. Speaking of titties, can we put on Me and Earl and the Dying Girl? Come on, Danny, back me up.
Yes, we can put that in there.
As the best single line of all time in any cinema. Damn titties.
Not the biggest best line in cinema history.
You're wrong.
what movie is that from?
Me and Earl and the Dying Girl.
Girl.
Oh, Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl. Okay.
Mhm. Wait, so are we gonna talk about romantic comedies now?
Yes.
So we gotta talk
All
about.
right. Honorable mention About Time.
Okay, the first thing we need to put forward,
Honorable
I
mention.
know Danny's going to say it's 500 Days of Summer.
I said that. I just said
Yes, 500 Days of Summer.
Any objections?
no.
No.
Production.
Okay, if
Can we
500
also-
Days of Summer is going to go on there, then About Time goes on there. Because
No,
500 Days
no.
of Summer,
About Time should be number 1.
500 Days of Summer is just as depressing as About Time.
Yes. You know,
It's even more depressing,
Okay,
but I love
It
it.
is described as a comedy first on the Spoke. Okay?
I'm pretty sure at like halfway through the movie, JGL is laying on a couch watching Warrior drinking whiskey in 500 Days of Summer.
You told me you don't think that's funny.
the saddest part for me about 500 Days of Summer was how much I related to Zoe Deschanel's character.
And no one should ever relate to Zoe Deschanel.
That's why it was so sad.
Mhm.
Okay, wait.
Sorry, not sorry.
Oh, Christian Jacobs in the chat says Deadpool is a great romantic comedy, and I agree.
I agree with you.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yes.
Deadpool is
I
a
think there are movies we should get to first, though. There are better romantic comedies than Deadpool.
I will-
want to just
I would just
10
like
things
to
I hate about you.
Oh,
Danny, that is the best romantic comedy of all time. I will fight to the death for it.
I missed it. What?
10 Things I Hate
10
About
Things I
You.
Hate About You.
I was literally gonna say that. Yeah, I'm glad you said
Yay!
it.
Twin powers.
It's fine.
No, it is not.
not
Alfred, it is a
Best
perfect romantic
romantic
comedy.
of all
And
time.
what other movie does
And-
Heath Ledger sing
And it's
I
also
Want
the
You
best sex-
Baby by Frankie Valli in The Four Seasons,
How does-
Running
how
Down
does-
Bleachers,
One
composed
scene
by
makes
the
a
high
perfect
school
movie. The JGL romance aspect of it is like a waste of time. I didn't
Cringe.
care about him
Cringe.
or the other girl at all.
And it's
All I
also
care about
Red
is
Tango
that.
the Shrew. It's a great adaptation.
Yep, it's the best Shakespearean adaptation too. Next to
Uh,
Baz Luhrmann's.
I think Lion
No,
King.
no, Danny. No.
Yeah.
Bad. You
Yeah.
know what's better? Macbeth with
Tom Hardy? I mean,
No,
not
no,
Tom Hardy.
no, Michael Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender.
And the director of Assassin's Creed. It is so good. It's a masterclass in directing and shot composition.
What? Assassin's Creed? You lost it. Assassin's Creed.
Yes, Melissa finally chiming in with some voice of reason. When Harry Met Sally has to be on this list because
I agree.
Absolutely.
There are no romantic comedies without When Harry Met Sally.
Mhm.
Ooh,
Have
The
y'all
Wedding
seen
Singer.
You Got Mail?
Wedding Singer. You Got Mail? Yes.
I haven't seen it, so I can't qualify that. But okay, so first let's get to it.
Yep. How to
when
Lose a Guy in 10
Harry
Days.
Met Sally, any objections?
No objections.
No objections.
Okay.
So for You've Got Mail, it's either You've Got Mail or it's Sleepless in Seattle, and it's like
Oh.
they're like the same movie, but it's like which one is better?
It's like,
I
do
would
you want
say-
Sandra Bullock or Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks. It's not a question.
I love Sandra Bullock. Hold on, that's a tough choice for me because I love Tom Hanks and I love Sandra
Why?
Bullock.
What about Sandra Bullock? What? Where did she come from?
Wait, what am I not?
She's
doing?
not in
Sleepless in Seattle.
It's Meg Ryan's in
Sleeping with the Enemy.
No,
No,
Sleeping
no,
with the
while
Enemy
you're
is Julia
sleeping.
Roberts.
While
Sleepless
you're
in
sleeping.
Yeah,
Seattle.
that's While You Were Sleeping. While You Were
That's what I
Sleeping
meant,
is Sandra
yeah.
Bullock. That's the one
You're
where
right. My bad.
woman
With the train.
broke up
Wait.
While You
the
Were
way-
Sleeping is the movie
Brothers
that
in
I'm
a
thinking
Coma.
about, not Sleepless in Seattle. Never mind,
So,
scratch
here.
that.
Meg Ryan.
Lot of
I'm
sleeping
gonna
movies.
throw out two movies that y'all will not care about at all, but I think are gonna be really nice if you could.
Something released in the last 5 years.
One of them, yes.
Of course.
Bluebird.
Sing Street and My Week with Marilyn.
Never
What about
seen either one of them.
I saw My Week with Marilyn.
It's really cute. And that's my only offense, but we should probably go to the chat also.
Frank through with Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and that is an
I would love Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
I love Forgetting Sarah Marshall. That was actually going to be my suggestion.
great choice.
Dracula.
Oh, also, There's Something About Mary. That's a good romantic comedy
Wait,
as well.
so
Yeah.
That is.
are we all good with Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
Ooh,
Yes.
40-Year-Old Virgin is also a good one.
40-year-old virgin.
Groundhog Day.
Oh, yes. Nah.
I
Yeah,
haven't
that
finished it. Is it
romantic
a
comedy.
rom-com?
Yeah, the whole point of the
Mhm.
movie is him falling in love with her, I guess. Yeah. And he doesn't break the curse until he like has his perfect day with her and they fall in love. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really good.
Okay, so wait, let's go through like the list of these and if any of them stand out.
James is trying so hard to make this list, and we're just spitting shit.
Oh no, it's a great list so far. That's the issue, is that there's so many good movies.
Her.
That's not a I wouldn't call that a comedy.
There's not
It's
a comedy.
comedy to me
So-
because it makes me sad and cry.
First
How
one.
pathetic it
What's
is.
comedy?
So if we're playing with genre here, do we want to do Shaun of the Dead?
Yeah.
I would say no. I do not think it's a romantic comedy.
I think there's too many genres for it to just be like a romantic comedy because it's a horror, a comedy, an action movie.
I would have
Yeah, I think
Deadpool
anything
over
that
Shaun
has
of the
a
Dead.
love dynamic can be considered a romantic thing, and I don't. It's too easy to shovel all of that together.
And in Shaun of the Dead, their relationship like doesn't really grow at all. They're just together. Like,
Wait, do you guys want to go pretentious?
No.
we can go pretentious if it's good.
It Happened One Night, the classic romantic comedy.
Yeah, have you seen that movie?
I have. I saw it in theaters. It's one. Okay.
Oh, you live in LA. I forgot.
Yeah, it's tough. It's my third favorite romantic comedy of all time because it has great moments.
It's so
okay.
dated.
For those who haven't seen it, it's the movie where the girl's on the street trying to get a cab, and she like lifts her skirt to show her knee like a heathen.
I've seen that clip. Yeah.
It's a really cute movie. It's really good. If y'all want to get a little bit pretentious, you can throw that in there.
I would
check
say
it
What
out.
about Amelie?
pretentious.
Oh. One second.
Amelie.
Christian Jacobs in the chat. Crazy Stupid Love.
Crazy
Yeah.
That's a good one.
It's a rom com for all ages.
That is my.
Crazy
that
Rich
is my-
Asians is also great.
Yeah. Well, but we prefer the one with Randall Park and Ali Wong. What is that?
Always
one
Be My
called?
Baby. Maybe.
Always Be My Baby.
Okay, wait. So
So good.
I have Crazy Stupid Love. Are we putting that on the list?
Yes, it is my
Yep.
single favorite moment in like movie history. It's when when Ryan Gosling finds out who Lundberg or whatever his name is, and he just takes his ring off because he's gonna go punch him in the face. It's so good. Like,
Okay.
I love that moment so much.
And I know y'all were writing about sleeping in Seattle or Sleepless in Seattle or you Got Mail. Which one are we going with?
I would go with you. You've got mail.
You Got
It's
Mail.
You Got
more
Mail.
of a rom-com.
Yeah.
I agree.
Sleepless in Seattle is more of like a romance, just like a straight up romance movie.
All right.
Did we put on
Dave Chappelle's and You've Got Mail, so you know it's a comedy.
Did we mention How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days?
Oh, that's too cheesy.
But that's part of
But
romantic
cheese is
comedies.
great with romantic
That's what
comedy.
romantic comedies are. Have to be cheesy.
Yeah, but we're doing like the best romantic comedies. Like,
Okay, speaking of best, I know Melissa would kill us if we don't have it in here. Wedding Singer.
I like that one.
I love
So
that.
I would-
You
I would-
hold the remote control. I
Control.
fucking love that movie.
I saw it on Broadway too. It was very good.
Nobody talks to Billy Idol that way.
He's losing his mind, and I'm getting all the benefits.
Okay. It's on the list. Melissa, you can calm down. Let's see. Frank Janice says Say Anything. I haven't seen it, so
Yeah.
I love
Yes.
Say Anything.
Frank, yes.
Of
So good.
movies, it's definitely the best.
So-
It's the only one where like John Cusack actually like comes across as like an actual like romantic person. Like,
is it on the list?
Yes,
yeah,
please
oh,
put that on the list.
yeah,
Yes,
okay.
Say Anything should be
Wait.
on every single romantic comedy list. I'm sorry that I
Okay.
totally forgot about it. There was a point in my life where like
No.
I wanted to name a child Ione because of Ione Sky from this movie. Like I fucking love Say Anything. Oh my gosh, it's so great. He wanted to be a kickboxer. What the fuck?
Wait. Danny, Danny, I need your help on this one. I want to put some more genre stuff in here. So my next pick is Singing in the Rain.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yep.
I love singing there. Debbie Reynolds. Oh my god.
Belford,
Taking the ring.
it's fine.
Carrie Fisher.
I will kick you off again, Belford.
I would rather
Can we-
have
wait,
the rain
can we
than
put
it
on,
happen one night.
I think having a nice like out there pick that people normally wouldn't think of would be nice for the list.
I prefer.
Or wait, if you want a better
sorry.
romantic comedy, we can put on Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
No,
What's the-
no, absolutely not. I'm
That
sorry.
goes on every list.
Yes, Kelsey.
It's
No,
mainly
if
on
you're
the
gonna
plane.
be-
My Fair Lady. How about My Fair Lady? I love that movie.
Oh, I
That's
love
a
My Fair
musical,
Lady too.
but I like that too.
No, exactly. I think having these genre movies like My Fair Lady, like these musicals, could
Can we have-
work.
So we can even put like Roman Holiday in there.
Yeah, some the people said it in the chat. I don't know. I forgot who. Do you guys want to do
Melissa
Roman
said
Holiday?
Yes. That's my
Melissa
go-to movie.
said Never Been Kissed, and Paul said High Fidelity. Yes,
Fidelity.
absolutely. Yes.
No, I would object to High Fidelity. I don't think it's a good rom-com because his whole journey is, hey, I'm a shitty boyfriend.
There's nothing romantic about High Fidelity. It's
Exactly.
literally him saying how he ruins relationships. Like,
Wow, maybe I just saw this movie when I was like in my early 20s and just going through that.
it's,
I haven't seen High Fidelity in a very long time, but from what I can remember from it, like I kind of enjoyed it. Man, my life decisions are fucked.
You know what a great romantic comedy is? Moonrise Kingdom. Only a real couple will kill a dog for each other.
that's the prequel to John Wick.
No, Wes Anderson is known to hate dogs. So when
He
ironically,
just made a whole
when
movie
made
about how
I
he
Love
loves dogs. What are you talking about?
Ironically, when he made I Love Dogs, I was like,
I
this
Love
is not
Dogs?
the same Wes Anderson. But we know.
1 second.
Every single movie he had before that, a dog dies.
Oh, goodness gracious. Zombieland Man's a good romantic comedy.
Alright, so let's just do the count so far. We have 500 Days of Summer, 10 Things I Hate About You, When Harry Met Sally, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Crazy Stupid Love. I can't even see what that one is. You've Got Mail.
Princess Bride, add that to the list.
You've Got Mail, Wedding Singer, Say Anything. I will actively fight against Princess Bride.
What?
Fuck you.
What?
You're young. No,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No. I have a legitimate issue.
Hey, how do we
The
delete
move-
James's spoke? How do we do that?
How do we keep him off?
The movie, okay. I will secede if all of y'all are really passionate about it. But the movie, at the same time, it tries to have its cake and eat it too. It tries to be this epic swashbuckling adventure, but at the same time, it
doesn't.
It tries to be. It's cheesy.
Yes, and that's the fucking point.
But it tries to be epic at the same time.
It's fucking cheesy, and it does have its cake and eat it too. It is a
It shouldn't be
swashbuckler
able
movie.
to. It's not good that way.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die. Fuck you.
Quote a
This is
line.
great movie.
Woo-hoo.
I'm sorry.
James, what is the premise of the movie?
Fuck you for that.
Hey, James, what's the premise of the movie?
Just isn't it? He just goes to find Buttercup and he loves her.
No, the premise of the movie is a grandfather telling his grandson a story.
Oh, duh.
So of course it's cheesy and swashbuckly, but not really epic and amazing. It fits perfectly for a grandfather telling his grandson a story.
This is a kissing movie, or this is a kissing book.
Wait, side note,
Don't
while we're
worry,
talking about Frank
I'll
Savage.
skip the kissing parts. The kissing parts are okay.
No, they're fine.
I will admit. Okay, I'll put it on the list because y'all are so passionate about it. But side note, on Frank Savage, the Princess Bride stuff and Once Upon a Deadpool is garbage. That re-edit is garbage.
What?
I hate it so much.
That's because you hate Princess Bride.
No. The entire movie, including the Deadpool 2 stuff, sucks. Deadpool 2 on its own is a great movie. Once Upon a Deadpool is garbage, and the perfect definition of how important editors are, because they ruined the entire movie.
Here's the thing: is that James thought he was getting a sequel to Deadpool 2. And it's not a sequel, it's a rehashing, so didn't like it. 2 stars.
It wasn't Lion King 1.5.
No. You know what?
It was
Lion King 2 is on the list. Koba
I love Lion King 2.
Great hero.
Yes.
No, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna fight for it. I want Lion King 2 on the list.
I'll put that in there too.
Shrek is a great romantic comedy.
Okay,
Lion King 2 is better.
If we had a top 20 for sure, like put Shrek in there. Not in a top 10, but top 20, put Shrek in there. Yeah.
But Danielle, Lion King 2. Come on.
Lion King 2.
Yo, I'm sorry. Like, Danny, especially I feel betrayed. Danny said Lion King.
Why? I love that movie.
Danny, we're the same age. Like, that's not fair. Like, I watched Lion King 2, and it was fine. A romantic comedy in top 10. Y'all tripping.
It has a great song. It has Andy Dick getting crushed by a log.
It was spoofed.
It has an emo line. What other movie has an emo line?
South Park too.
None of these have anything to do with the romantic comedy.
I'm an emo lion.
Okay, so let's go through the chat and get some ideas. Frank Janis' Silver Linings Playbook. Kevin Moreno backs up with Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Denuzo says Groundhog Day. Christian Jacobs says Naked Gun, which I don't think it really is. I haven't seen it though.
Naked Gun, you could actually argue. Like I would love to see an argument for Naked Gun as a romantic comedy. I really liked the Naked Gun series, despite OJ being in it. But I thought those were fucking super funny movies. Like I really did like those movies. And Anna Nicole Smith is in it. That's the romantic lead. And I think I can't remember. It's been so long. But they're funny, and I think you can argue that for sure.
Not in the top 10 though.
No. So
but not in the top 10.
We're forgetting Singing in the Rain. Come on.
Oh, no,
I'm with you there, James.
We already forgot it.
No. So ignoring Belvin's terrible opinions, can we get Singing in the Rain on the list?
Yes.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Okay, I think Singing in the Rain can't necessarily qualify as a romantic comedy because I personally, and I'm sorry I didn't go to film school, y'all, but I don't think that the romantic comedy genre started way after Sing It in the Rain.
No, I give you one from 1934. Romantic comedy was one of the oldest genres.
Yeah.
I guess. I'm sorry I didn't go to film school, but
Danielle,
I've watched
Danielle.
Singing in the Rain and I never laugh, so
He literally says "make him laugh." That's one of the songs.
But here's the thing though. Like I understand comedies were a part of it, and romance has always been a part of a thing. But to like make a movie that's specifically like a romance,
like the modern
comedic
genre
movie,
of romance comedy.
yeah, like
Of
it's just like,
rom-com. They didn't
it
call
was a
rom-com
generated
then.
it was a generated genre of movies that happened in like maybe like 70s 80s. Like, oh, I'm sorry, Tequila, but like I don't personally think that romantic comedies, I think that the romantic comedy genre started later than what most early really cool movies started. But I think that you can argue that, absolutely, you can argue Sing It in the Rain as a romantic comedy, but I do personally think that the romantic rom-coms is a later genre in the whole movie.
See, and I feel like half of Marilyn Monroe's catalog would be considered romantic comedies. Like, that's like the whole point of the story is the romance between two oddballs falling in love and chaos happens.
Yeah,
Monkey
okay,
Business.
I'm gonna yes, that's fine. I have a personal like I don't know, like Marilyn Monroe is fine. I don't think that she's a person that should be idolized. And I don't like I can completely yeah. I completely get that. But what's the one movie that she was in with Jack Lemmon, the one super famous
Some
movie?
Like It Hot, which deserves to be number one on this list.
She was a fucking super bland character in that movie. Like she has no background in that movie. She's a piece of shit in that movie. Like
no, I will fight. Some Like It Hot deserves to be on the list. It is one of the greatest films of all time. One of the greatest rom-coms of all time.
God, I will quit this whole podcast if you put
Jack Lemmon in that movie. Oh my gosh.
I mean, you know, it's fine. I never laughed once during it, so it's fine.
Okay. So, ignoring that, my other one I'll fight for is Tootsie. Can we get Tootsie? I love Tootsie.
I agree with Tootsie.
But if you're gonna put Tootsie in there, then we're gonna have to put fried green tomatoes in there also.
What?
No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. I'm joking.
What's wrong, Belford? Do you not?
We've had enough. No. I love Tootsie's fine. When she said fried green tomatoes, I was like, wait a minute. Like,
I didn't even hear that. I just blocked out the bad opinions.
We've had enough. We've had enough rom-coms on this list that I cried at, not for like the happy, like they got together reasons, but like the I'm super depressed because this is sad reasons. Fried green tomatoes is so sad. What's next on the list? Prince of Tides.
Okay, wait. So, looking recently, do we want to fight for Love, Simon or for Crazy Rich Asians?
Oh, Love, Simon definitely
Love
deserves to be on
Simon.
the list.
Yeah. Oh, I love Simon.
We good on that one? We just stop fighting.
What's that dumb Netflix movie that came out where the girl writes the 5 love letters to all the boys before?
Yeah.
I really like that movie.
No, do not put it on.
I really like that movie.
You just call it dumb.
I really like that movie.
But not top 10.
We're talking about like dumb is like one of the tropes of romantic comedy. If it's not dumb, it's not.
Wait. Okay. So we have our 10. We have 500 Days of Summer, 10 Things I Hate About You, When Harry Met Sally, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Crazy Stupid Love, You've Got Mail, The Wedding Singer, Say Anything, Princess Bride, and Love, Simon. Are we happy? Or do we want to take anything out? Because I will put About Time on there if we can take out Princess Bride.
I will put About Time on there if we can take Crazy Stupid Love off.
No.
I mean, it's fine. Like,
I would rather take off You've Got Mail than Crazy Stupid Love.
I don't know. Obviously, my life decisions are wrong.
I think that the movie that we should, I almost think we should take Princess Bride off because it's not a like the romance of that movie doesn't define like the movie. Like you could literally take Buttercup out of that movie, and it's the same movie, and I like it just as much.
Fine.
I see your point.
If you can quote me one line from Buttercup besides like "I love you," then I'll think about not taking it off. She's the romantic lead in the movie, and I can't remember a single thing about her.
Wow. Yeah.
And for a rom-com, like that's usually like the key to the movie.
I'm gonna go ahead and jump in the camp that Belford has no soul. He just crushed mine.
Yes.
Crushed mine.
Okay.
I'm here for it.
So I'm going to continue fighting to put a musical on there. I really
I'm
want to
with you,
get Sing
James.
Street or Singing in the Rain.
Or Chicago.
Hot take in the chat. There are 15 better rom-coms than Love, Simon.
Okay, now Melissa is biased against newer films. She thinks they don't deserve the love they deserve. And Love, Simon is like every rom-com, like what's what I'm looking for? Every trope of the genre is diluted down, but given actual weight from the character's drama.
It's like, is it a rom-com or is it a coming-of-age movie? So it's like,
Okay, so his coming of age is defined by his romance.
yeah, I mean, I could see that. I like Christian Jacobs' Dumb and Dumber bromantic comedy.
That should be another list that we make at some point. A bromance comedy, like The Hangover.
Oh. Yeah, but I think I would take off Princess Bride and put on About Time. See, Danny, you got About Time on there.
All right, I'm not okay with that. Wait, I was just about to say that I'm okay with taking Princess Bride to put About Time on. I'm not okay with that because those two movies specifically, fuck you. Those two movies specifically are my like top 3 favorite romantic comedies. Ooh, whatever, y'all. I'm sorry.
Choose one of your children.
Take it off. Put About Time on.
So, I believe we have our final list. We will allow for any last-minute additions in case someone decides to throw a fight.
Danny, you can go on the spoke and talk all the smack you want about our terrible list.
Melissa says Marley and Me, which is ridiculous. It's a movie about a dog, not a rom-com.
Whoa. Also, another movie that I cry at that has nothing to do with anything romantic.
And you know what you should cry at? It's an amazing movie. Singing in the Rain.
Yes.
Why would you cry at Singing in the Rain?
Because it's so beautiful and
It
so
is.
sweet, and the music is amazing. Donald O'Connor gives one of the best performances in any musical ever.
If you want to cry at a movie,
Wait, if
Brian song.
if Helene was here, if Helene was here, she would get the vote.
Yeah, but she's not here because she decided to have a boyfriend instead.
Right.
Like a smart person, you know, relationships are so enjoyable.
What are those?
She's busy living her own romantic comedy, Danny, okay? All right. So, the final list that we have. Deal, no deal, locking in the buzzer, whatever.
I'm gonna be so upset about this.
We have 500 Days of Summer.
That's
10
number
Things I
1.
Hate About You. When Harry Met Sally. Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Crazy Stupid Love. You've Got Mail. The Wedding Singer. Say Anything. Love, Simon. And About Time.
Wait, we added Live Simon?
All right, I
missed that.
I have the only thing that I would question now that I think about it is Crazy Stupid Love.
Thank you.
Because the key element of that movie isn't the romance at all. Like the romance is entirely
talking about?
secondary.
It's not. It's about him developing himself as a person.
No,
like
no.
it's not.
No.
I'm sorry.
And it's about Ryan Gosling being a douche, which is always the best version of Ryan Gosling.
No. So what I want you to realize, this isn't one character's romantic comedy. There are multiple characters having this romance go on.
Nope.
It is a
all
romantic
about
comedy because
hero.
everyone is having romance.
Nope.
And the conflict creates the comedy.
Yeah, but all the people who are romance is like a tertiary character.
Yep.
In a romantic
It's all
comedy,
hero.
the main characters are supposed to have the romance. It's a bromantic comedy. That's what it is.
Not even.
That's
Okay,
a bromantic
that is part of
comedy.
it. Yes.
That's
Well,
the main.
no.
The main relationship in that movie is what? What is the main relationship in that movie?
Steve Carell and his family.
No,
all
well,
of his
that's not
family. It's his wife. It's his son. It's his daughter. I think she has a daughter, if I remember correctly.
There is a daughter.
He does. Yeah, it's Emma Stone.
Yeah. There's 2 daughters. There's a younger daughter as well.
No. Wait, does he have a younger daughter?
He has a younger daughter as well.
Okay.
I don't remember that at
So
all.
you have everyone to go through. You have
watch TV upstairs, and Ryan Gosling says, "I want to come too."
You have Ron Gosling, Emma Stone. You have Steve Carell and Julianne Moore. You have the daughter and Steve Carell, which is where the comedy is. You have the son and the daughter. I forgot both of their names.
The daughter, none of this happens until the fourth act of the movie.
Movies don't have 4 acts, Belford.
This one does.
And then you have Steve Carell, Marissa Tomei, which is amazing.
I love Marissa Tomei.
No way.
She is. There's so much working for this movie.
Also, the Marissa Tomei doesn't make any sense because Steve Carell is hitting on hooking up with models, and then I love Marissa Tomei, but it's
no, don't you dare, do not do it.
But she's not a 20-year-old model that he's picking up at this bar.
He's attractive as one though. Did you see the owner of that deli that Spider-Man and Aunt May went to, and they got her a free jar for whatever the weird dish is called?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, I've been growing my hair out. I've had super long hair for a very long time. And I was going to go and cut my hair. And then I saw Spider-Man Far From Home. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go as Aunt May for Halloween because Marissa Tomei is fucking gorgeous.
No, I have the same thing.
I'm not cutting my hair.
If you go back to old episodes, my hair was a mop and it looked horrendous. And then I saw A Star Is Born. And I saw Bradley Cooper's hair. I'm like, you know what? I got to steal it. It looks amazing. So you know what, Danielle, I get you, and I also get why this list is pretty much perfect, even though it doesn't have Scott Pilgrim.
I can't wait to hear other people talk about this list and say how 60% right and 40% wrong it is.
Yeah. So now I'm going to post this on Twitter. We have our official call to action: top 10 romantic comedies, and if you disagree, shut up and make your own list. But now we have moved on to the next part of our programming. We have been going for almost 3 hours, over 3 hours now. Oh no, sorry, no, almost 3 hours. It is time for
live stream.
Yes, 200 minutes.
Is anybody still watching?
No.
It's yes.
Now.
Yes.
It's Christian and Melissa.
And Janish.
Oh, Janish is still here. Yeah, Janish.
Wow.
Thank you, Frank.
We have 7 people watching. About half of that is us.
And Danuzo. Hey.
Yeah.
It's fine. We have fun with this. It's fine.
Yes. All right. So now we are moving on to the next phase of our blocking, which, according to Danny earlier, he wants to talk about TV for the year. What do y'all feel about that?
I think we should do a very.
I'm gonna riot.
Let's talk about Barry.
We should do a very specific category of who's going to win the Comedy Emmy. Have you seen all the shows that are nominated for the Comedy Emmy this year?
Speaking of the Emmys, you know what has the most nominations?
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Over.
And we have not actually talked about it on this channel much, so I think that would be the best time.
It's over. Why would we talk about it?
You can find me at Lady Lawston. Lady_Lawston on Twitter, because I literally started that Twitter account for a Game of Thrones, a Song of Ice and Fire Twitter account, and it's somehow just completely turned into a Schmoedown account. It's not even about Game of Thrones anymore. It's just about Schmoedown. But I literally started it because of Game of Thrones and read the books.
Quick question on Twitter for if anybody else feels the same way as I do. Do you feel weird retweeting Schmoedown things because you think, oh wait, all the people that follow me on Twitter are Schmoedown people too? They probably already saw this.
Yep. Okay, I'll say this though. I think if I really do think that if Belford retweets it, it kind of puts a significant type of cosign on it. because Christian Harloff has said that Belford is his favorite fan.
So Belford, we need you to retweet everything we ever say.
I mean, that's also why we got Belford on this podcast.
Yay! Got me on here because A, I'm a moderator on the MTS page, so I can immediately throw things up there. And I'm on the AI Facebook page, so I can put things on there too. Like tonight's lovely podcast that we had going on.
Okay, I'm gonna take a quick side note. I'm very obviously the only one on this podcast who has been drinking, and
Nat drank from the bottle earlier.
Oh, thank you, Nat. Thank you. My ears just started to get hot right now, and that's what happens when I drink tequila.
Drunk Danielle, yes.
Tequila is just basically sour water. The only effect that I get from it is my ears getting hot. My ear just started to get hot right now, so hi.
Okay, wait. So I petition we should start this TV discussion with Game of Thrones, since I think all of us watch it.
Yep. I'm gonna head out though. I gotta put kids to bed. So
all right, bye, Kelsey.
Bye. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being on. Love you, Kelsey.
Yep, love you guys. Bye.
Let's give Game of Thrones the 5 minutes that season finale deserves. And
absolutely, it only
season finale was garbage. It's
I've been so defensive of the season until the last episode.
Which makes it worse.
I loved it so much, and then the finale ruined it. It destroyed it.
Because we've been telling people, I'm sure you guys are just like me, defending it, like fighting for it, being like, no, this deserves it. It's been so good. Like, and people are telling you, no, it's terrible. And you're like, you shut your face. I hate you, Mom. And then we get that series finale, and people are just like, it was so bad that people weren't even like rubbing it in my face. They were just like, they didn't want to tell me I told you so. That's how bad it was.
Yep.
Okay, wait. Quick question.
Everything that we feared the most in a series finale was what happened in that series.
Absolutely. How many of us in here have read the books?
I've read all of them.
All of them.
One book.
Like this show, like legitimately, this show could have had more time to do it. The showrunners decided to keep this season specifically short, which was very unfortunate. And I saw an article one time that said that they were just like salty about not getting their Confederate show like picked up, whatever. But seriously, this season was completely rushed throughout it. I think that there was a lot of things that they tried to bring on the Golden Company, which is a big plot point in the book.
Oh yeah, we said this in our chat.
No, like Harry Strickland was in like 2 episodes, and the only thing that you can remember about Harry Strickland, homeless Harry Strickland, is that he's running away, getting trampled over by this Northern Army, which is kind of shitty for Harry Strickland in general. But Harry Strickland is a very shitty character, totally off it. But anyways, they rushed it so hard, and it was so bad, and it was very disappointing to see it. But regardless of how much they rushed through it, I do genuinely think that the specific endings of this book are going to be, or of the show, are going to be the exact endings of this book. And as a reader, and as someone who is actually a part of the Song of Ice and Fire community, I truly believe that these endings are going to be what happens in the book. And I think personally, I'm okay with Arya Stark going off Alyssa Farman style, just fucking setting sail and finding shit out. Jon Snow, okay, Jon Snow's got to die. Jon Snow's got to die. Like, whatever happened in the show, like, the whole dynamic of the show, Grey Worm should have just not even given a fuck about anything, just slit his throat. That's what should have happened, because that's who Grey Worm is. And Sansa Snark?
I'll call
Sansa Snark? Sansa Snark!
Stark? Absolutely.
She real
Queen
snarky.
of the fucking North. That's it. I'm done. Queen of the North.
Can I bring some comedy to this really quickly?
I'm done.
And poor Ghost. Poor Ghost.
Can I bring some comedy to this just to lighten the mood after Danielle was actually smart?
No, we need to talk about how poor Ghost is mistreated.
He's hoping for a sequel.
They're making a prequel series.
It's a prequel.
I got to get in character 1 second, guys. And who has a better story to tell than Bran the Broken?
Oh my god. That's the perfect sound. Thank you.
God. Like,
hated it.
Okay, here's the
funny part is the first half of that finale isn't even bad. Like, I get the Grey Worm issues, and that is a big thing, but like him killing Cersei and the dragon burning the Iron Throne, that is amazing. And Tyrion's like little discussion with Jon in the prison, fantastic.
I think that's actually going to happen in the books. Yeah. Genuinely, I think that specific interaction is going to happen in the books, and I think
so good.
In the books. But here's
the
thing:
everything after she dies is disgusting and horrible and terrible. And
here's the thing:
it is my favorite show of all time. I love everything else, but the last half of that finale is garbage.
The reason why they had to cut the last season to 8 episodes is because they have to move on to something else as quickly as possible before people realize that Benioff and Weiss are kind of overrated.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yep.
100%. That show completely went off the rails when George R.R. Martin stopped writing for the show. When they ran out of material from the books and just like went with their own storylines, I can understand like putting storylines together. Like Jane Poole is, man, that's such a hard storyline to work with, but to put Sansa inside of that, like it made sense for the show. Because they were never gonna put Jane inside of the show. So for Sansa to take over that, completely understandable. I just think that like there's a lot of storylines that failed and that like, man, they just rushed through it. Big props to Sophie Turner for working with the writing that she had to work with to completely make this character be 100% what I believe Sansa Stark is in the books. So big props to that. Like it was just a bummer to see the downfall of the series. That's all. I'm done.
Sansa's the worst in the books. She's terrible.
Fuck you.
No. I wanted her to die so many times.
Selford, you have no soul. None.
If you read the books, you realize that every bad thing that happened to a Stark is because of Sansa.
First of all, Sansa is 12 years old in the books. Okay.
That's like 40 in Game
you want to start? I'll start right now.
She's supposed to be married with 6 kids by 12.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not married with 6 kids by 12 because I'm a lady and I know how my body works. I know how most ladies' bodies works.
Wait a minute.
And it's not 6 kids
ladies'
by 12.
bodies in the world that has dragons and whites and White Walkers and
no, because George R.R. Martin based his story on real shit. Like Tansy T,
the whole story is allegory for climate
literally
change.
an abortion pill for this series, and to have something that specific inside of this book, like oh my god, Catelyn Tully's dad, his last words were Tansy, because his biggest regret in life was y'all are getting me on a rant and I can see all of your faces right now. Tansy T, like to put Lysa under that Tansy T completely, like that is how the story started in Game of Thrones. Like to make Lysa Arryn drink Tansy tea because she was so much in love with Peter Baelish. Like, oh, okay, I'm done. I'm ranting. I'm sorry. I'm done.
Sansa's still terrible.
Sansa's the best.
No. Pre Ramsay Bolton, she was terrible. The second Ramsay gets introduced, she becomes a 1,000 times better character. She's by the end of the show, she is one of the best characters.
Sansa
She is
Stark
amazing.
died. Arya Stark would have had her head cut off if she was in the exact same position as Sansa Stark. And that's the thing. Like,
You put some respect on Arya's name. Put some respect on her name.
I am naming my first daughter Arya. You do not talk trash on her. She is the
no,
best.
because that's the fucking truth. That's the fucking truth. Because you cannot.
Danielle, I can eject you too if you want.
Bold in that sort of thing. And I'm gonna say this as a lady compared to all of you dudes. Like, that's the fucking genius thing about George R.R. Martin and his writing in this thing. Like, I read books, y'all. I read books, and I have never ever seen a writer portray a fucking 12-year-old, 13-year-old girl's mind the way that George R.R. Martin has kind of done this, because she understands that if she says one word wrong, they're gonna kill her. Arya would never let anyone talk shit the way that they talk shit to Sansa. Arya would have just been that bitch,
got a bunch of
and
people
she would have
saying
been
the
like,
wrong word. That's how she learned that lesson.
They would have killed her right away. She
learned that lesson because she got so many other people killed with her big mouth.
Okay, no, Danielle, I think what we're saying is because she is so accurate in those first few seasons is why we don't like her, because she is an annoying little girl.
Yeah, and because you're dudes.
Yeah, no, exactly. And let's not say she's a badly written character. She's just annoying.
No, that's accurate. No, it's accurate to what a 12-year-old girl would be.
You can be an annoying 12-year-old girl and not rat out your family.
It's accurate to what a 12-year-old girl would be.
My prince. I just want my prince.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
That's a 12-year-old girl. That's a
preteen.
12-year-old girl.
A preteen girl. That's how she would act.
Exactly.
Her father killed.
I'm trying to hide down here from Danielle's rage until y'all are done talking about the third best character.
You got her father killed.
That's what got Ned Stark killed. Genuinely, because if Sansa wouldn't have ran to Cersei to tell her exactly what Ned Stark was saying,
they should have chopped Sansa's head off. Man, I wish your head got cut off.
Y'all can find me at Tumblr on Danny Joy, Danny.joy.
We're going on Tumblr? Yes.
All right, Barry.
I feel like
talk about Barry.
I feel like Billy's golden.
We should talk about. I know. Let's talk about Barry or Euphoria or Lost.
So let's go to Barry first, because I know that most of us here have seen that.
Barry's so fucking good.
That single season of Barry is literally top 5 single seasons of TV I've ever seen.
How is it?
And the others, and 4 of the other ones on that list came out this year as well. Barry season 2 is amazing.
How is it this consistently good? I don't understand. Like,
it's not even consistently good. It's leagues better than last season. And that's not even to say last season was bad. This one is just as amazing. It's so good.
I wouldn't say it's
so good.
It's on the same caliber, which is Feet in its Own. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah, it has one of the best episodes of TV all year, and that's saying something. When you have Game of Thrones there, and I will defend to the death.
Oh, and
the Battle for King's Landing. It's
Sarah,
amazing filmmaking.
They made Sarah have an interesting part.
Sarah was so good this season.
Sarah actually got to do something.
I think
her monologue.
You mean Sally?
Like one of the best. Sally, whatever her name is.
Sally's always been good, I think.
Okay, no. So Sally was not likable last season.
No,
the actress was very good. She was written very well, but the character herself was bad.
I didn't like her at all.
I think
First season was bad. Second season was fine.
Here's a question. Is there any actor ever who's had a better twilight of their career than Henry Winkler?
Oh,
Henry Winkler is... Oh, my God.
Money, please!
Wait. Oh my God!
I'm glad about that. The Jagoffs who didn't tell me Diddy's on Twitter. Oh, hey, Paul's back. Hey, did somebody say something bad about Bohemian Rhapsody?
I heard that.
I think we said Ed Harris too loudly.
We didn't know. You have to say Ed Harris 4 times in the mirror for Paul Denuzio to appear.
It's not the Candyman, it's the Polly Man.
Denuzio. Oh my God!
Denuzio.
And hair
Man.
sucks. And hair sucks. And hair sucks. You shut your mouth.
You shut your dirty goddamn mouth. I'm going to go full belt out here.
Okay, wait. So Denuzo, have you seen Barry?
No, I don't watch it.
What about Game of Thrones? Did you
Game
hear
of
our
Thrones, I
discussion?
love.
No,
I
because
did.
of our
I said
chat
like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I do. Game of Thrones is good.
from our Facebook chat.
I am with Danny on almost honestly on that because Danny and I'm a book reader too. I've loved the fucking books. Once George R.R. Martin's books ran out, Benioff and Weiss had no idea what the fuck to do.
None.
It read like a bullet point of like this is the outline that George R.R. Martin gave them, and they're like, "This is good. Okay, this is it. I'm just gonna film this, and then we'll film this, and then we'll film this," instead of trying to actually create something that would have a map to that or whatever. It was ridiculous.
It felt like bullet points. It was like bullet points. George R. R. Martin told him these specific spots, and they just filled in the blanks from that.
That's exactly what happened. Exactly.
Sadly, Brand's going to be king in the books too.
I think Bran will be king in the books, but man, the show fucked it up. Like, Tyrion's
on
gonna die.
paper, Bran is a great choice for king. Okay, like he would be a great ruler, but it's just not compelling. Like, I think if you look on paper, if you say if this was a real play, this was a real kingdom in a real universe, Bran would be a great choice for king because he literally knows what the best choice for everything is because he can see all.
But that's why I think there's something missing.
He's not
interested in his story.
He's such a little piece of shit about it too. He's just like, why do you think I came all this way? No one cares, Brandon. You haven't said any words for the last 10 episodes.
In the show, that's not book Bran.
Right.
No, exactly.
I think book Brands is something missing in the storyline that we haven't seen yet. The books and in the show, you're absolutely right. It's like, so I got all these powers. I can see everything, and my job at Winterfell is just to sit there and wait for.
Or he basically caused all these people to die.
Right. If you know what's going on, you know what to do. Then fucking do it.
Yep. But he let all those people die.
Why?
He let all those people die in the fire.
It's
he knew that was going to happen.
It's the Doctor Strange 1 in a million thing. It's like, how do we win? You know, this is the one way that it could happen. So I got to let all these people die.
So he had all his power, so he could sit there.
I don't necessarily think
with
that.
Great power comes great responsibility, according to crappy MCU movies.
Wait, so are we gonna stick on Game of Thrones, or are we gonna talk about stuff we actually really like and really want to support?
I really don't want to talk about Game of Thrones anymore. It's making me
we're gonna talk about.
Stephen Root was amazing this season on Barry.
And A Song of Ice and Fire all night long.
Danny and I will have a separate
Stephen
chat
Root was
later.
amazing.
Danny, you and I go all night long. Let's go.
Wow.
Paul, you're married.
That's not
yeah. It's a family show. This is a family program.
No, it's not.
Is it a family program? I'm on here drinking tequila, cussing the shit out of this place.
Sounds like my family.
That's my family.
We were dating.
That's exactly what a family is to me.
So, do we have anything more to say about Barry?
Yes, please watch it. And where do you think it's gonna head after this?
Is it gonna win the Emmy?
Okay, so wait,
Yeah.
so have.
What about?
I don't want to spoil it because I feel like it's a big if people have seen it yet.
Yeah.
Okay, then I want to talk about what I was just wanting to talk about was that one episode. There's one episode in Barry that's extremely weird. It's weird.
Okay, wait, which one are you talking about? Because if I think the one you're talking about, I'm gonna fight you on this.
Well,
I don't know the number.
Anymore.
The
Nobody's
only
word anymore,
that I'm going to say about it is roof. And if you can get it from there, that's fine. But one episode from Barry that like
are you talking about season 5 or episode 5 with the little girl and the one take?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the episode number, but the little girl, yes.
Yeah.
That is one of the best episodes of
That's
TV
all
all
I'll
year.
say
It
about
is
it. Watch Barry.
amazing.
All time, even.
And Bill Hader directed it. It has
so
2
great.
one-take fight
So
scenes.
great.
It is amazing.
Favorite episode of Barry ever.
God, it's one of the best. Again, one of the best episodes of TV this year. I'm surprised. Actually, it is nominated for Emmys for good reason.
So if we're gonna if you guys want to talk about Barry, talk about Barry. But you want to know what I just started watching right now, recently this year in 2019?
Go ahead.
Yes.
Always
Stranger-
Sunny in Philadelphia.
It's so
Yes. Yes.
You
My favorite.
just now started.
Now
Yeah.
Now's gonna lose his shit now, so I'll just sit here.
I love this.
No, where?
Like-
Where?
Hey man.
Okay, so I've literally watched the first season 3 times.
And that's it.
Try to get
You
into
haven't
it.
seen more?
Funny. It's super fucking funny. I love it. It's great. I love it. It was just never a show that I caught on to when it was like syndicated and on it. It's still on FX. Like it's still going, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
They just finished. They just finished last season.
They're
But it's
gonna
coming up. It's
they're
coming
gonna
back.
set the record for most episodes by cable comedy or something like that next season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I
I watched
season-
You haven't gotten to season 2 yet, Danielle?
No, I'm on season 5.
Oh, okay.
Day man. Day man.
Fighter.
Okay, I had no idea.
Night man.
It was set up like 2 seasons before it. Spoiler, sorry.
Yeah.
That was so fucking great for me because I had already seen because the show is older. How many seasons has it been on now?
8,
15,
13.
18, I think.
15.
11,
15.
12, 13,
15.
something like that.
15.
13.
15.
Okay, so like Dayman, Nightman, like that
Mhm.
skit, I've seen it. I've seen the entirety of the skit before. Never seen that entire episode, but like there was an episode that like kind of started it.
Yep.
And
Charlie
it so
was
great for me.
Charlie
I
was
like
writing the script.
yeah, like I'm super into meta humor and like callbacks, anything that has to do with
Oh,
Easter
that's
eggs, shit like that. Like that's my
Sunny
shit.
then, yes.
And Always Sunny is full of it. And I'm so upset that I didn't watch it before. Okay, I'm going to segue into Disney because that's me. I just watched The Frog and the Princess for the
Princess and the Frog.
first time today.
What?
Yeah. Today. Yes.
All right, Danny's
And,
in a weird place.
I liked it.
So many
Are you
Easter
okay,
eggs
Danny? What
inside
took
of
you
that
so
movie.
long?
So many Easter eggs inside of that movie. That's all. Okay, I'm done.
Those aren't the Easter eggs.
wait,
Those are the
wait.
original like mentions, and everything else is
Can-
Easter
can-
eggs to that.
Can I?
Talk about Euphoria.
Can I turn Jason to the next show I want to talk about?
Yes.
Okay. Wait.
Segway.
Stranger Things.
I just got to season 3. I
Oh,
finished
yeah.
all of it in 3 days.
Robin?
Turn around.
Wait, I'm sorry.
And
Tell me what you see.
what you see?
Thank you, Danny.
Just got to season 3, like you, as in you just watched the first 2 seasons, James.
Then I didn't finish season 2, so I finished that first, and I love the finale because of how cute they were at prom or whatever homecoming
Snowball.
dance they were at. Snowball, yes, thank you.
Oh,
That is worse than Danny only just now watching The Princess and the Frog.
No. I saw season 2 when it came out. I got halfway through season 3 with a girlfriend, and we had to stop because we broke up, and I never finished it. So I finally finished it, and I loved the finale so much. I started season 3 immediately after, and I burned through it. So this isn't really a hot
we
take
talk
anymore, but it's sort of a hot take. Season 3 is better than season 1. Like, fact.
Yeah.
No,
Absolutely.
I still like season 1, but
Just
Good
because it's a
scoop.
sequel,
good
Dave.
scoop for the window.
Here's my thing.
The comedy
Like-
works better, the action works better, the CGI is better, the performances are better. Everything is better from the first season. It's a full step above it.
Season 1 is
Yeah.
the better season, but season 3 is my favorite. 'Cause it's,
Season 3 is my-
Robin makes this
Yeah, but-
season.
yeah.
Oh my
What
god.
about
The
Just the whole
introduction
scoop.
of new characters
I like the scoop
papers
too.
over the cracks of no character development for anybody else.
And Billy was-
Turn around.
Round.
Look at what
Can I
you
say
see.
something really quick?
Any bad I really have against this show is saved by Susie Susie Poo and Dusty Buns
Yes.
singing a never-ending story.
Mhm.
Yes. Okay.
And
Really
Erica's
quickly.
face
Yeah.
reaction to it.
No, oh my god, I hate Erica so much. I despise Erica. She
You
is the
despise her.
worst.
Yeah.
You can't hate Erica. She's
I
married.
hate children, Danny. She was disgusting.
and woman. So it's like a double.
Oh yeah, apparently, yeah.
That's
Because it is so new, we have to try to not spoil it. but never ending story.
Okay.
I've only seen 4 episodes, so I'm only halfway through myself.
Oh,
Yeah,
Paul.
so I'm not gonna spoil it, but I do have to say something really quick. There is a scene between Steve and Robin.
Wait,
Yeah.
is it the one in the bathroom?
Bathroom.
Yes, the bathroom
my
scene.
God.
That's already
Oh.
spoiler enough. I'm sorry. That's already spoiler enough. But like,
Spoiler, spoiler.
There's a specific scene between Steve and Robin. I was like, I cannot sleep without a light off because like I'm scared of the dark. Whatever. So I always have the TV on, and I had Stranger Things on while I was going to sleep, and then just like in the haze of like being sleepy, I heard that dialogue, and that dialogue instantly woke me up and made me stop and watch. Like it might have been like 4:00 in the morning, but I like whatever reason I heard the dialogue, and I had to like sit up in my bed and watch this whole scene because this scene was it for me. Like I loved it so much that it just like, man, like the way that they played it off, and to hear the banter between Steve and Robin after the whole dialogue was perfect. And it just like, I don't know, like Stranger Things season 3 was so great. 3,
James.
1, 2.
Completely agree.
James, you said never ending story.
Yeah.
How about Back to the Future?
Mhm. That was another
okay.
good Robin
So-
moment.
Paul doesn't know what we're talking about.
Oh my god, that entire
Scoop Stroop.
Paul has no clue.
Only halfway through.
Hey,
Only halfway
okay,
through.
I think that episode where all of that happens is the best one of the
That was
season.
episode 7.
Okay.
7, yeah, it's 7.
Oh my God.
7 is by far the best.
God. And
3 is not my favorite season, but 7 is probably the best episode in the history of in the entire show.
Mhm.
And I love how tight the story is, where it's like this all happens over a course of like what, a week at most. Like
That's the only complaint some people have about Stranger Things is you can never tell the timeline of like when things.
no, I think that's
Okay.
amazing because
What
it
about
makes the storytelling
11?
feel so tight and quick. And, like it's like all happening all at once. It makes it more engaging.
Every
Yeah,
once in a while,
well-
they'll throw something in to be like, oh, yes, it is a timeline. Like, oh, it's 4th of July, everybody. You're like, we don't know how long you've been here, but it's
Also,
4th of
can we
July.
talk about
I think it's very like I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I think it's very obvious that it's a week to 2 weeks of a timeline from July 4th to everything. Like
Oh,
even
no.
before-
It ends on July 4th.
it's a week or to 2 weeks of a timeline.
Mhm.
That makes sense.
And
It's so good.
what about
So good.
the little mall montage
Oh my
with
god.
Max and 11?
Oh, the dress up montage.
I break up with Wes.
Let's go to the mall.
Oh, it's so
Don't talk about
good.
that.
So fucking good. Okay, as a girl who like legitimately would just go to the mall, like I live in a small city. Our mall is the only place we would go to for shit. Like that. That was legitimately the hangout spot. So to see that come out in Stranger Things was so good. Because I know that that's really what it was for like 80s kids. Because I'm a 90s kid. I'm an early 90s child. And the mall was a place like where we would legitimately like, okay, we're gonna go to Padre Staples Mall. Let's go. We're gonna spend the whole day there. It was a thing. It was a thing.
Yeah.
It was a legitimate thing.
It was. It
We do
was.
trick or treating in the malls even.
Oh, we
We used
did
to go to-
trick-or-treating
We used to go to the malls to do trick or treating.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Malloween is what
Yeah.
we called it.
We had that.
Malloween.
We went. My cousin lived in Texas, so we went to the Grapevine, and we went to Grapevine Mall, and we went there, and we just spent the whole day at the mall, and we went trick or treating.
That's because Texas has to do everything with air conditioning because it's too damn humid and hot there to do anything outside. So
Damn
you
true.
You
trick-or-treat
can't
in the
have
mall.
the skin. Yeah, you can't have the skin anywhere else except Texas. Thank you.
Can't argue with that.
Wait, how did that go? What was that? I missed it.
Hi, hello, Texas skin. It's great. The humidity here is great. I'm kidding. I'm 32 and I look like I'm 24. It's the humidity.
That is.
There you go. It's like
I
a
will
sauna.
I'm 33. I'm sorry. I'm
Oh,
33.
I guess we should talk about. Oh, wait,
Stranger
we
Things
can't
is
talk
real
about Alexi. I can't talk about Alexi because. Oh, sorry, Paul. Earmuffs.
Yeah. Let's not talk about that.
I will
Alexi
put
was
my
a
Stranger
good
Things
character.
so far. My Stranger Things so far that I've seen the first 4 episodes. As a
Billy
older
and the-
male with daughters, I really empathize with Hopper.
3 inches.
I've had those conversations.
3 inches.
3 inches.
3 inches.
That's gonna be so confusing for anyone that hasn't seen it.
Once you.
I love that scene with him in the van with Mike. That was me with my daughter's boyfriend. You will respect me, and you will go home now.
Yeah, I'll never forget the first time my dad answered the phone while I was on the phone with a boy. It's so great. I'm sorry. He was like, "Who is this?" Like he literally asked every single information that he could ask from this like 12-year-old dude. So it was fun.
Okay, so I know earlier Nat was talking about taking a break during Euphoria. Because I'm sort of taking my break right now. Is there any TV shows y'all want to talk about that maybe I haven't seen that y'all can like take the spotlight and not deal with me being annoying?
Lost. I want to talk about Lost because I'm rewatching
It didn't come out this year, Danny.
I don't care. I watch it every year. And I just watched the finale.
You too, Danny.
I watched it every single year. And I'm on season 6 again.
Speaking of Lost, a certain person associated with Lost will be making a Watchmen. Is it a TV show?
Yep.
I think it's Are we excited for Lindelof's Watchmen sequel TV show? Oh my God, James just lost himself. A sequel on TV. Oh my God.
Not only that, we're getting the Golden Compass on.
Oh my God.
It's dark.
Talk about a movie that was the word so much worse than the book. The Golden Compass. Oh my God.
But we're finally getting the TV. We're finally getting the TV series. But we're finally getting TV series that's going to be right, and I think that's what we needed. And
Does anybody watch The Good Place? Because I've heard good things, but I've never watched it.
It is amazing. It's the #1 comedy on television right now. It is fantastic.
It's fucking fantastic.
It's forking fantastic.
I'm really
Chirp ball is my new tattoo.
And a Golden Compass because Lin-Manuel Miranda is going to be in the Golden Compass.
And
James McAvoy,
Daphne
the
Keane.
girl from X-23. What's her name?
Daphne Keane.
Daphne Keane is going to be in fucking the Golden Compass. That book, his Dark Materials is great. Please read it. I'm sorry. I'm gonna.
Lin-Manuel's lost a little bit of his luster because he was in that Mary Poppins movie.
Because I'm Belford. It is amazing.
I just saw that today. It is okay.
It's
fine. The story is
amazing.
boring.
Shut up.
The story is pretty boring, but
I'll say Lin was fine.
The music was
I don't
fine.
know. Okay, none of y'all in this group are Hispanic, and
Yo soy Latino.
okay, you can speak Spanish, but that doesn't mean you're Hispanic.
Mi cuñada es de la DF.
I'm not from New York. Whatever.
Little note.
In the
Belford,
Heights,
Belford, you're so white you get angry over a movie trivia show and almost shit yourself watching it. Okay.
That's a very Latin thing to do, to shit yourself.
It's a very white thing to do. Excuse you.
All right?
No, Latins are over exaggerated in everything that we do. I don't know if y'all have seen my Twitter, but I caps lock everything.
I just assumed that you hit that you hit shift caps lock and forgot.
No, I don't forget. Caps lock is on purpose.
Okay, well, we can talk about In the Heights.
Know here right now, my caps lock is on purpose. I was a cheerleader in high school. I'm a Hispanic woman. My caps lock is on purpose.
Your caps lock is a weapon.
In the Heights.
In the Heights
It's a movie. It's gonna be a movie. Y'all get ready. Cats in the Heights. Y'all want to talk about movie theater? Let's do this.
Lynn is like spreading himself too thin. Like
No, he's fine. I follow him.
he's gonna be in everything. He's in everything. He's
The Little
producing
Mermaid.
everything.
He's in the Little Mermaid, y'all.
He's producing the TV show and the movie for Patrick Rothfuss's book.
Kingkiller Chronicle.
Yeah, so good. If you want to read a good book, that's a good book.
Fruit
but talk about
That's awesome.
Talk about a guy who we need another freaking book. Thanks a lot, there, Patrick Rothfuss. It's been long enough. 8 years. Stop writing shitty. Stop writing shitty little novellas that nobody cares about.
You know what's great? Euphoria.
Yeah.
Oh, we were supposed to talk about Euphoria. My bad.
Oh, we've reached that point of the show.
I didn't want to like take y'all in that already.
Sorry, James.
I guess we are doing it. Does anyone besides me and Danny watch Euphoria?
No.
Yes.
No, nobody.
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay. I say so.
You need to
talk briefly on it. It's amazing.
Rue.
It's okay. It's the kids of television, where it's real teenagers doing real teenage things, and it's fantastic. And
James.
Yeah.
And it's based
Watch
on a
Kids.
No.
You know about kids, James? Do you really know about kids?
Okay, here's the thing.
I have no legs. Tink, 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 tink. I have no legs. Tink,
That's a
tink,
great
tink,
movie.
tink,
Thank you,
I
Belfry.
have no
Okay, look, here's the thing. Like, if
Casper.
kids
This
fucked
is-
me up. Like,
Yeah, I was like,
And Euphoria will
it's a
do
fucked
so
up
as
movie.
well.
I can't wait.
It
I
won't
can't wait.
because we're not kids anymore. That's why it won't do it.
The whole premise of Euphoria is just dealing with real teenage issues, like coming to terms with your sexuality, how you use it, drug abuse, and dealing with the anxiety of life.
Yeah.
And
Addiction.
I have 3 teens. I don't need to watch it on TV.
Don't watch it, Paul.
No,
But don't you
this
want to
is-
learn about how your
this is
kids are
better-
addicted to fentanyl?
Don't watch it, Paul.
This is a better version
Wait,
of
so is
13
this
Reasons Why.
Is this the new Skins? Is that what this
No,
is?
this is a remake of an Australian TV show.
Is it? Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, that's like this
And-
sounds like Skins.
Wait.
Watch
Wait.
Skins.
And it's
Janice
Rue.
said in the chat when we were talking about Game of Thrones,
Just
we
kidding.
already did. Go back like 30 minutes, and we were losing our shit over it.
You can hear people yelling at each other about how much Sansa sucks.
No, we should,
I think
we
he's
could talk
joking
about
because
that.
he knows about that.
All right, so that's I guess meaning Danny's little time on Euphoria, because we can talk about that on
No,
our
we
own
didn't even
time.
talk. Yeah, no, just say it's about
James or
It's-
Danny, did you ever watch
it's-
Skins?
the UK
No.
one.
Yeah, the UK one. That's great. That's like the best
So
one.
nice
The
one.
American
Yeah.
ones suck.
Yeah, I didn't watch the American one. Fuck that one.
If you like Skins, you should watch Euphoria, because it also has Zendaya giving her best performance, and it has a bunch of
And-
like new actors who aren't really big on the scene yet, and they're amazing.
Oh, and
Zendaya's
and,
best performance as opposed to
Mon-
those crappy Spider-Man movies.
and Judd Apatow's daughter's in this movie too. In the show
I will
too.
kick you again, Belford. Try me.
I ain't scared.
What about
Oh,
Good Omens?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, so
What
good.
about The Marvelous Miss Maisel?
I've never watched it.
You should watch that.
Is it good?
Yeah,
It's Emmy
good.
nominated, so I assume it's
Uh-huh.
good.
Yeah, the second
Chernobyl?
most nominations.
Anybody?
What?
Anyone seen Chernobyl yet?
Not
Chernobyl?
yet.
No.
I want to see it from my girl, Jessie Buckley.
Jessie Buckley.
Future Oscar
Jessie
nominee
Buckley.
for Dart for
It's
Judy.
Jessie
Sorry, that's the
Buckley.
name of the movie. Or Wild
Who?
Rose.
Wild Rose.
Who?
Jessie
Jesse
Buckley.
Buckley?
Yeah,
She's
Beast.
in Beast, right?
Beast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
Beast.
What is
Okay,
Beast?
wait. Okay, back to the movies for a second. Paul, you gave Beast a 3.5 out of 5. You bitch! How dare you? It is
Well,
a
I saw that you gave it a
5-star
5.
movie, and you know it.
Did you just
I
say
saw
you
that gave it a
bitch?
5. I
Yeah.
saw that I gave it a 5, so I
Okay.
really gave it a 1 in my mind. So it worked up to a 3.5 from a 1.
Wow.
Just like
It
how
was- it was
Bohemian
good, though.
Rhapsody
Beast-
started as a 1 and it stayed at a 1.
He said, "You goddamn bastard! You shut your goddamn whore mouth."
Is it this one? Can you see it? I don't know if you can see it.
Yes.
That
Yeah,
one?
that's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the one.
So give it a 1. Cool.
Give it a 1.
Son of a bitch.
Give it a -1, so it turns into a 4 out of 5.
If you read
Oh
my
my
review,
God.
it's not a. I didn't give it a bad review. I just, it was pretty decent.
You didn't
Yeah,
give it a
it's not bad.
5.
It's a 5.
I think Danielle ought to say something.
Is it even a sequel?
No, and that's why it's not a
It's
6
not a
out of
sequel.
5.
This
Oh,
is actually. Yeah.
So on my letterboxed, I haven't done much for Spoke, but on my letterbox, all of my ratings are based on a personal, personal heartfelt rating, not a specific movie rating, if that makes sense, like how movies are produced and shot and written and stuff like that. Like I'm
it's
a
not how good the movie is, it's how entertaining it was to you.
personally, yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't necessarily rate my letterboxed movies about that specific thing. I haven't used Spoke as much, and I would like to use Spoke as my critical rating of movies. So if you follow me on either one of those platforms, Letterbox is more of a personal, just how I feel about it, how it pertains to me as a person, how I love it, how I hate it, different things like that. Like you can hate a movie and still critically kind of evaluate it. I think personally. So that I think that's how I'm going to specificate my apps between my letterbox. My letterbox is going to be more personal, and my Spoke is going to be more critical, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. You get that.
So
I like that.
So just to narrow down the TV stuff, I looked through all the Emmy nominees and we've discussed most of them. And there's the general stuff that's always there, like This Is Us, or some of the limited series like Fosse Verdon, which I don't think we've seen.
This Is Us is good too. That makes me very sad.
But you know what? I know we have seen.
Fine.
Okay. Oh. So you know what? I know we have seen that we all really like. Glow.
I haven't seen it.
Yes.
I've never seen Glow.
I've only seen
You would love Glow. It's perfect for
Danny, you would love Glow. Danny, you would love Glow. Watch Glow.
Okay.
Glow is like funny women who all have big dick energy, just owning a wrestling ring with 80s hair and the best music. Oh, it's so good.
I'm all about ladies having big dick energy. Hey.
As our resident woman with big dick energy, Danielle, what did you think of season 2, and how are you looking forward to season 3?
Okay. I've honestly only seen the first 3 episodes of season 2. I haven't finished it.
It's been out for a year.
Glow. I love Glow. Big dick energy in the entire thing for sure. So I'm not a person who I grew up in the 90s. The 90s were a very specific genre of wrestling. And my very best friend who I grew up with was super into wrestling, and that was legitimately the only reason why I know who Bret Hart, Macho Man Randy Savage, all of that bullshit. That's the only reason why I know that specific genre of wrestling, was because of who my best friend was. My mom and her best friend had kids at the same time, me and Robbie was super into wrestling because he's a dude. And he got me into it and all of that stuff and whatever. But besides that, that early genre of wrestling is kind of what I'm into. And I lost my train of thought. That's it. Hi.
Hi.
Bobby. Yeah, I only know of Glow because of the Schmoedown.
I love Glow. I do love Glow.
Oh, and also they were on that James Corden karaoke. Like Yeah.
Mark Maron in Glow is awesome too. I love Mark.
I
Oh my
would like to say that my favorite wrestler of all time, like I have two legitimate favorite wrestlers of all time that I legitimately watched, and that's Bret Hart, and Macho Man Randy Savage. Like legitimately, those two specific wrestlers
You mean Kevin
were
Smets?
Oh my god.
the
Okay,
only
wait.
reason why I kind of love Kevin Smets, but whatever. Like let's
Kinda.
not talk about Kevin right now.
Kinda.
Can I make one point? Danielle, I need you to be your bad bitch self because Frank Janish is in the chat complaining that we haven't talked about Game of Thrones because he decided to miss that 20 hours of it. So give your condensed thoughts about why Sansa Stark is the worst character on the show.
First of all, did Frank Janish say that Sansa Stark is the worst character of all time?
No, I did.
You did. Okay. Sansa Stark is not the worst character of all time. She is legitimately the best character of all time in the entire series of A Song of Ice and Fire, because not only has she had to deal with personal trauma, but political trauma, in the sense like where she's at in the books, she's in the Vale having to fucking deal with the Vale issues. I don't know who put on Arrested Development music right now, but fuck that shit, because it's not ironic in any sort of way. Arrested Development is an ironic series. A Song of Ice and Fire is not. And Sansa Stark is not. I don't know who started this. Why am I on this rant right now? Sansa Stark
so we're doing this because William
I'm
Belford
not
in the chat said that
listening to
Sansa Stark is the
you,
worst character of all time.
Sansa Stark is the best political opponent. Like if you genuinely look at Westeros as a political atmosphere, Sansa Stark is literally the best opponent for a political stance in this entire world, because she has sat and learned through the worst and the best. And as someone, look, I'm going to say this right now, personally, as a personal experience, who has been a person who has worked in management. Like I manage people. I'm not saying I'm a queen, dog, but like I manage people.
Did you see the chat?
I haven't seen the chat. I don't see the chat.
Frank says, "What about Sansa's emails?"
Manages people. You have to be You have to be a person who deals with other people's perspective and other people's opinions. And Sansa Stark does that the best way that anyone else. Dany doesn't care about other people's opinions. Jon Snow does not care about other people's opinions. Stannis Baratheon doesn't care. Robert Baratheon doesn't care. Cersei Lannister absolutely fucking doesn't care about other people's opinions. But the best leader is someone who actually fucking cares about someone else's opinion, and that's Sansa fucking Snark. Snark!
AKA.
Snark! 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 Snark!
All right, are we good? Are we calm?
I would just like to say thank you for letting me rant.
Okay,
I've never
so-
been able to rant about this. That's it. I'm done.
Frank Janish is just a troll bitch. He also
on
wants to
the
hear about
internet,
Barry, and we
I'm
talked about
done.
that already. Okay, but so there's one. I think it's another topic that we discussed in our little call to action chat that we can get to right now, or we can wait another 2 hours to do it.
Just for the record, you told me this stream was going to be 2 hours at most. I'm supposed to be at the gym right now, so I guess I'm skipping leg day.
And just okay, you can work your jaw discussing your bad opinions because
What are you talking about? I'm going to do most of tonight.
What do y'all want to do next?
Nothing. We're done. I think we're done.
No. There's one topic which I know y'all want to do because we had a great time doing it in chat earlier.
Obviously, James, there's one topic that you want to talk about. Tell us.
Top 10 celebrity crushes of both genders to play it fair.
I don't have any.
It's a lie, Danny. I
Not
have
10.
the whiteboard ready to list them all
Not
out.
10. Not
Anna
10.
Kendrick,
Yeah, I don't know 10.
Chris Evans. That's it.
So
That's it? That's your 2?
Two.
That's your 1 and 1? Okay.
1 and 1. Anna Kendrick and Chris Evans. Thank you.
That's what we should do. We just each pick a man and a woman, then we'll get 10 because there's well that'll get us 12. So there you go.
I'm doing top 5 of both. I can't be asked to decide.
No, like if Anna Kendrick ever gave me the time of day, 100%. Where's my shot glass?
That's my favorite line of the night. That's my line. That's my favorite line of the night.
Every time
In the
you
bottle
say it.
for like 5 minutes. And then she's like, "Where's my shot glass?" How are your ears? Are your ears warm? Are your ears good and warm? Yeah.
I think your
Yeah,
ears
little
are on
girl?
fire.
Oh.
Fire.
It was
Fuego.
it was right here. Wait,
Your shot glass?
Oh, tequila.
tequila.
Ba-ba-da-ba-dum-bum-bum.
About right here when we started.
Yes.
Danny's cosplaying Smets and Guy on the airplane on Southwest. That's what she's doing right now. Yo.
My biggest dream ever is to be able to cosplay Ben Bateman and Andrew Guy with the most beautiful co-host Alex McFarland. I said Andrew.
Oh.
In New York.
Alex McFarland. Like, can we
New
please
York.
You can do it in New York.
Ben-
You can do it in New York.
The only reason, like, legitimately, the only reason why I can be true is because I'm shorter and darker. That's all.
You can do it in New York.
Hello. Respond, Alex. Please respond, Alex. Respond.
She's
in the group chat.
She's a group chat. She's there.
She is in the group chat.
What are the chats?
She
Alex
said she can barely talk, or she can barely type. It's too early for her to.
Don't talk about short people. Don't short
Yeah.
people joke.
Stop vertically challenging Shamias.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was short once. We've all, I mean, you know, with 3rd grade.
When you were 9, I'm
Yeah. We're in our 30s now.
32, and I'm
Yeah.
under 5 feet tall.
I'm 32 now. I'm
it's like me and-
32.
Me and
Yeah,
Ben
5'3".
Bateman. That's the height of the entire Action Army.
Okay, I'm sorry. Ben Bateman is probably my perfect height.
6'2". Yeah.
I need
Oh,
Wow.
Perfect height.
Perfect height.
right.
All right, celebrity crushes. Who's going next?
Is that a celebrity crush? Would that count
James,
as
did
one
you
of
get
her-
all your? Is
I
it
have
like
one
based
more. I
on
have one more.
James? Is it based on like who's been in what sequels, or like how do you get your celebrity crushes?
Exactly.
That-
Creed
that's how
2,
it works.
That's
Stallone.
James, is Janice a celebrity?
Is Kalinowski
We
a
don't talk about
celebrity?
Janice in the past.
Kalinowski's on that list. James is on the. He's in the new group. It's called the Kalaslutsky, and he's the number one member of that group.
I feel like he's the other. He found that.
Okay. Wait. So I have my actual top 5 of each now.
Kalinowski five
I-
times.
I decided to put effort into this because I think it's a fun segment. So, actually, I'll use this paper to hide the other half. My number 5 is Brie Larson because she's a goddamn queen. Number 4 is Aubrey Plaza because Parks and Rec. How can you not?
And she's crazy.
No, she's an evil hag.
All right,
Number
can I
3
say
is Mary
something
Elizabeth
really quick?
Winstead because of Ramona Flowers, Scott Pilgrim, Melissa Shut Up.
And Cloverfield Lane.
Oh my god, yeah. And Spectacular Now. Oh my god.
Yep.
Number 2 is Amelia Clark. There you go, Danielle.
Mm-hmm.
And number 1 is the woman who had my heart from the very beginning, is Alicia Vikander. For everything she's ever been in, she's perfect.
Is it just like Andrew Guy from the very first time you saw the Man from U.N.C.L.E. trailer?
All right. Okay. I'm gonna
So-
personally
Who
think
remembers
about
those days
Aubrey
staying away
Plaza right now, and like, this is just a girl thing. Sorry, tequila. This is just a girl thing, but like,
Tequila's
No,
not a girl thing. Anybody can drink that.
anyone can drink tequila, but a girl thing is specifically if my ex-boyfriend's
Oh,
ex-girlfriend looks like Aubrey Plaza, I'm gonna hate Aubrey Plaza.
mm-hmm.
So,
She give me her number.
I can't watch Parks and Rec the
And-
same. No, like I'm
And
not
for
even
number
lying,
5
no.
for the
like my ex-boyfriend's girlfriend looks exactly.
Exactly, like Zoe Kravitz in the beer commercial. Oh my god, exactly.
Like fucking Aubrey
Wait,
Plaza.
this is ASMR.
Fucking worse because I love Parks and Rec. It's the fucking worst.
Do y'all want to hear about some hot men? At number 5, I have James McAvoy, pretty much purely on Split and X-Men First Class. Number 4 is Heath Ledger, because obviously.
He's
Obvious.
dead.
Number 3 is Michael B. Jordan, because you've never seen a man with better abs.
And Killmonger.
Yes. Oh. That girl who broke her retainer.
Who's
I get you,
mistaken?
sis. I get you.
Yep.
Number 2 is Jake Gyllenhaal, because we stand a man who can sing and and says fire all the drones now. Best line of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And number 1,
No, it's not.
we have to. It's Action
Mike-
Army.
Oh,
Tom Hardy.
I thought it was Mike Kalinowski. Dang it.
Oh, I forgot to put Andrew Guy on here. 1+ or 1B.
All right, you're missing a major person from that list, clearly.
Who?
The fact that Adam Scott is not on that list.
Oh, no.
is a travesty.
Okay. He is cute. He is husband material. But if you watch Big Little Lies, he falls out of this top 5 really quickly.
Which one's that's the one in Monterey? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
Do you
the
see-
one where,
no,
where
In
he-
season 1, with his beard looks horrendous. It's disgusting.
How
Okay,
dare you?
All of y'all can go and find me on Twitter at Lady Loston. Ben Halpert. Ben.
And Halpert.
Ben Wyatt
Jim Halpert.
or Jim Halpert.
Jim Wyatt?
Jim Halpert.
Yes. I
Jim Wyatt,
love
Ben Halpert.
I love what's his last name?
Thank you.
I love Adam Krasinski. He's my
Yeah,
favorite.
John Scott.
Yeah.
John Scott's portrayal of Jim Wyatt is fantastic.
John Scott did such a great job. All right, I'm done. I'm gonna log off of this chat.
And he gets
right now.
married to Pam Perkins.
Never.
You know? Not Pam
Pam
Perkins.
Perkins.
Pam, nope. Ah.
Now you're just all over the place.
this isn't Gatorade, y'all.
Money, please.
Money, please.
I'm done. I'm gonna.
Wait, no,
Yeah,
Paul, you can
Austin
sing.
is
You can
talking
be
about
our John Ralphio.
I love John Ralphio so much. Oh, top 5 characters of all time.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Wait. First of all, y'all, we have literally been on this chat for like 3+ hours.
Almost there.
No, we have beaten Ben and Andrew already.
Except nobody's giving us money.
That's not a
Dang.
joke. That's a
No
fact.
money.
And without
Yeah,
Super
no
Chat.
money.
Except for
We even
except for
entertain
Andrew
you guys.
getting a
Are
grand.
you not entertained?
And like it's an audience with us.
Who's in the
My
chat?
boobs
Give us
are
money.
out.
Money, please.
Melissa and
Mine
Eric
too. My
Frederick
boobs are out
accepted.
too.
Take your shirts off, dudes. Take all of y'all. Take your shirts off now.
Oh no! Wait, is there
Why
a
don't we just go this
wait?
way?
No, Jarvis
It's off the
away.
rock.
Jarvis not here. Jarvis not here. We only take our
Wow.
shirts off when Jarvis here.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
And-
Whatever.
And Roxy.
Except
too.
for Roxy.
Yeah.
Please.
Roxy and Jarvie.
Okay. Wait. So, is there anything else we wanted to talk about tonight, like at all?
I don't think so.
No, we're done.
Books.
I want to talk about
music.
my bed.
We're
That's what I'm
done.
talking-
Go follow me on Twitter, Lady Loston, please.
Well, we haven't talked
Yeah.
about Mike
Yeah.
Kalinowski pitching a perfect game yet, and how he's Mikey 3 belts.
Oh,
Like the 3 belts.
Mikey No Belts.
Mikey Nobel.
Mikey No
Mikey
Belts.
No Belts.
I will only care about Mike Kalinowski when he goes face
Oh my God.
again.
No.
No.
Mikey
Stop
Face
it.
2020.
No, fuck you.
Mikey
No,
Face
Danielle,
2020.
Danielle,
Mikey
you are
Face
entirely
2020.
wrong. Him as a face
No,
is boring
I'm
because you know he's a
Mikey
heel.
Face 2020.
Kalinowski is
Mikey
a
Face
shitty
20.
heel.
Mike
Mikey
Kalinowski is
Face
still a face.
2020.
Kalinowski is not a heel.
Let me stop you right there, okay?
Kalinowski is not.
Mike Kalinowski is a great heel character.
No, he's
As
not.
Ben Bateman says,
Let me
he
stop
is not
you
a
right
heel,
there.
but he is a
Okay.
heel character, and he works great as that.
He's
I
a
need
You know
superhero.
what heels don't do? They don't cry when they win from the emotional amazingness. Oh my god, it's so great.
If you want to be louder than me, you need to get a good mic because I can just turn this up naturally.
Stop
I don't
need
need a ton
a
of voice at all, and I just get louder than you
I
naturally.
don't
I
like to
beat
be
you.
louder than you. I
right
don't need
now.
Mike to be loud.
I'm telling all of you to stop right now. Mike Kalinowski is the best
Tequila.
heel to ever come to the Schmoedown. To ever come to the Schmoedown.
You know who the
Best
best
heel?
heel ever is? Sansa Stark.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's 3 hours long, y'all. Woo!
See y'all later.
And we're gonna be doing
I'm
this
out of here.
like 3. We're gonna do this. I will be back here tomorrow.
Woo! Oh, tomorrow is the cartoon challenge, right? They're doing like cartoon questions,
Tomorrow
We're
we'll
doing
be having our Disney
Yeah, we're
match.
doing cartoon challenge tomorrow.
cartoon stuff. There's like talking birds and shit.
Challenge tomorrow.
Yeah,
It's a Disney
and,
competition tomorrow.
Talking raccoon.
Come at me, bro. Come
Tomorrow.
at me, bro. I'm gonna go ahead and say this live on our Call to Action podcast. Come at me with some Disney trivia, y'all.
What are your predictions for Disney trivia? Who's gonna win
None
Disney
of y'all.
trivia?
Danielle, I'm gonna come in last place.
Okay, so
Y'all,
Danielle,
none of y'all can
Danielle,
get
I know you're
What
very
about
drunk right
Studio
now. Won't
Trivia?
remember this
Disney
in the morning.
trivia.
But I want you to.
I wish y'all would take
So,
3.
serious
Call to
note on
action.
Danielle. She is a very dangerous competitor.
Any fan podcast for the Schmoedown out of Disney shit. I'm sorry. I've already had too much tequila right now. Y'all can't get me. Y'all
She is in direct
cannot.
competition with Caleb Boatman
Y'all
and Chris
can't get
Engel, who are both probably the biggest Disney nerds I know. Danielle
Who's
will
Caleb?
win
Who's
tomorrow.
Caleb?
She will beat anyone in her path. She
She's
is
gonna
the
take
Dan
everyone
Marl
down.
of Disney.
She is the Danielle.
Mike.
Marl.
So,
Dropped.
so Andrew Guy could knock her out in Disney?
No.
Andrew Guy wishes he could knock me out in Disney.
You
I'll
can
say
talk
that
bad
right
about
now.
Danielle Marl. You do
Andrew
not
Guy
touch
wishes he
Danielle,
could
despite
knock
her
me out
being
in
extremely
Disney.
drunk right now.
I just that's all I know about Dan Merles, that he got knocked out by Andrew Guy.
Andrew Guy wishes he could knock me out in Disney. Everyone
No,
wishes.
you want Andrew Guy to knock you out. There's a difference there.
Who, me?
No, Danielle.
Oh.
Okay, now she's. And now is the time where we call the ambulance and take her to the hospital, get her stomach pumped.
She found her shot glass.
Yay!
It hasn't left. It never left.
So, Harlock,
Wait, can we-
when you
Are we
decide
gonna
to
do?
get nominated for the Schmoedown Awards,
Wait.
look at this
Where-
clip right here of Danielle trying to talk with slurred words, burning ears, and taking a shot on camera. This is call to action.
And this is a. Are we gonna? We should do Schmoedown ASMR now.
Danny, I swear to God, no.
That's not good.
Yes.
I don't know
No.
what that is.
Yes.
Don't make me do ASMR, please. Don't ever make me do ASMR.
What the fuck is going
Oh, no, stop.
What the fuck are they doing? Only golden Michelob Ultra. I don't know what that shit this is, but I don't like it. And Danielle has left. We really need to sign off because I think we're either drunk or night drunk or whatever. None of us are very coherent, and Nat needs to go to the gym because he actually wants to have a successful life.
James.
You can do push-ups on your own. So, you know what? Screw it. Just watch the match tomorrow for our social medias. No one really cares. Frank Janish, we will see you soon, Frank. You have been here for most of the 201 minutes. Fuck you, Ben and Drew. So we will come for that award. And trust me, you do not want us in LA, even though I will be there in a couple days. You do not want us there. Dread it. Wait, it's like I can do it like this so they can put in the promo. Dread it. Run from it. Call to action arrives. All right. That's me being stupid. Okay. Final notes on the show before we sign off.
Final notes.
No.
Danny's back.
Danny!
If no one has
Yay.
anything to say, this is the time to sign off. So now that we have officially beaten Ben and Drew's 200-minute stream,
That they did
hands up,
400 minutes
salutes.
No
Yeah.
money.
Yes,
Okay.
with no money. Everyone, put your hands up. Salute.
money.
Salute, damn it.
We just did this.
Danielle.
We just did this.
Danielle, put your hands up.
We just did this
All
for
right,
you
that's
guys.
call to action. Signing
Did we?
off.
We do.
Yes, we did.
Okay, signing off. Bah.
See you guys for the next 400 minutes stream.
Bah.